Hello everyone, welcome back to Ramon at Home. I'm so excited you're here today because in this video I'm gonna share with you over 20 Christmas DIYs. They are super elegant, not cheap looking, and they're done on a budget. These beautiful Christmas decorations, ideas, and DIYs is a compilation of some of the best DIYs for Christmas that I've done here on my channel, and I could not be more excited. Also, I am super stoked because I have a wonderful Christmas giveaway. I'm gonna be giving away $200 worth of gift cards to Hobby Lobby to get you kick-started with your Christmas decorating ideas and your decor as well. I'm going to select 3 winners. There's going to be a $100 winner and two $50 winners, and I'm gonna give you all the instructions in a few minutes. So if you are interested, please stay tuned. Don't forget to like this video and share with your friends. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing, and while you subscribe, don't forget to turn the notification bell on because you will not want to miss what's still coming down the pipeline for this Christmas decorating season. And also stay tuned for the instructions on how you can enter the giveaway. Are you guys ready? Let's get started. All right, everyone, so for this candy cane project, what we're going to need is, of course, our candy cane form. We're going to need 2 of these picks from the dollar store. We're going to need a little bit of ribbon, and I picked this really beautiful red with the gold lame backing. It's just absolutely gorgeous. We're going to need 3 of these deco mesh rolls in red, as well as 2 on the white. I'm gonna put those to the side. Then we're going to need our wire cutters and our scissors. So I'm going to start by removing all of the tags out of my components because I really hate looking at these tags. You guys, if you've been following Ramon at Home for a while, then you know that I really don't think they should put this many tags and so secured. My goodness, we're not stealing the items. We're paying for them and they're only $1. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go put those on the side, and I'm gonna bring these pipe cleaners. I have 2 in silver and 2 in red. So what I want to do is I wanna cut them all very small. So I'm gonna cut them in half first, and then after that I'm gonna gather them again and then cut in half one more time. So we have mini pipe cleaners. All right, so to make this beautiful wreath, what we're going to do is we're gonna go ahead and start with the red, and I'm just gonna go ahead and pinch like this, and I'm gonna go ahead and secure. I'm gonna fold this right here, and I'm gonna go ahead and secure down here on the bottom. So just go ahead and find a way to really secure this, and that's why I like these pipe cleaners. So I'm gonna go ahead and fold it like that, and then I'm gonna go ahead and fold it one more time, and then secure again. This can be a little tricky, but once you get going, then there's no stopping. All right, so that's one secure like that. What I'm going to do is I'm gonna go ahead and pull my deco mesh material right through. I'm gonna do a wave like this. Then I'm gonna go over and do another one and just pull. And then I'm gonna go over and insert through the slot right here one more time and then pull. Once you have 3 of them about the same size, what you need to do is you need to squish down, and then you're gonna go over all the way over again. Then you're gonna pull one more time. And you want to repeat this step probably about 6 times. So I'm gonna pull, I'm gonna skip over, and then I'm gonna go ahead and pull one more time. I'm gonna skip over, and then I'm going to pull one more time. About this, and then you wanna squish down. Then you wanna go ahead and start over one more time. So just go all the way over and pull, skip over, pull one more time, skip over, then pull one more time. So you wanna use about half the roll of this mesh material, and as you guys can see, it's creating this poof. So we're gonna do one more time just because we have the space. So basically I just pulled over and I'm gonna pull, then I'm gonna go over one more time and pull like this, and then I'm gonna go all the way over, and then I'm gonna go ahead and insert one more time through here, and then I'm going to pull like that. So it gives you this really pretty tight. Then what you need to do is I'm gonna go ahead and cut right here. So I'm gonna just go ahead and cut, and I'll show you what you need to do is you need to grab another one of your mini pipe cleaners, and you're gonna go ahead and secure right here to the corner. So basically just do it like this, and then tightly tie it to the corner, and then cut the excess. So this is what's gonna look like, right? And then what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go ahead and start with the white. So we're gonna go ahead and secure the white to the bottom. I'm gonna flip it around. So right here, if you guys can see right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and secure my pipe cleaner through right here. Then I'm gonna go ahead and twist one time just so it's secure on the wire. Like this. Then what I wanna do is I wanna secure my mesh right here. Very tightly. One more time, if you wanna go over and under and just attach one more time and spin, that way you secure that it's very secure. So now what we need to do is we need to repeat that step. So we're just gonna basically pull a little loop like this, and then you go over and then you pull one more time. So I think this is very self-explanatory, as you guys can see. And you're gonna go one more time, and then what you do is you push down and then you go back all the way over, and then you're gonna pull one more time, then skip over to the next one and pull one more time. See, creating those loops, and then you're gonna skip over to the next one and you're gonna pull one more time right here like that, and then you're gonna pull down, and we're gonna do it one more time. So I'm gonna continue to do this, you guys, until I fill this candy cane. And of course you have to skip from white to red to white to kind of create the candy cane shape. But it's super easy, as you guys can see. So let me finish this and I'll be right back with you and show you the next step. All right, everyone, so this is what our candy cane looks like. I think it turned out so cute, but I feel like it needs a little treatment right here. And I have seen this done before with like where you just wrap the candy cane. However, I really like how thick this turned out. So I'm gonna put it to the side right here so I can show you the next step. And what we're going to do is we're gonna grab 2 of these picks. And what we're going to do is we're gonna go ahead and attach them like this by using one of our trusted zip ties. This is going to be the easiest way you can do one of these swags, just by attaching one of these guys to 2 of these picks. Just pull really tight, like so, and go ahead and cut the excess. So we're gonna go ahead and cut that little excess, and you have yourself a little swag. Look how cute this is. You can fluff it, and what I'm going to do is I'm gonna actually go ahead and bend it down like this. And then what you wanna do is pull all those elements out to fluff it out. I'm gonna put this to the side and we're gonna make a little bow. And I want just short, sweet tail. So I'm probably gonna go ahead and first of all dovetail this guy right here. And then I'm gonna do a very simple bow. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do a tail. Then I'm gonna do a little loop right here. Then I'm gonna go ahead and give this guy, I'm gonna go ahead and drop it on the floor because it's easier. Just go ahead and twist, pinch, probably about 6 inches. Then we're gonna go ahead and pinch one more time. We're gonna probably do 2 loops on each side. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. And actually I'm gonna do one more right here, like this. And what we're going to do is we're gonna go ahead and grab one of these zip ties as well, because this ribbon is really thick. So what I recommend is you use a zip tie instead of doing a wire, because it can hurt your fingers. And look how easy this is, just like pulling like this. We cut the excess. All right, and then what we're going to do is we're gonna go ahead and grab one of our pipe cleaners, and once our bow is finished, we go ahead and fluff, pulling this tail down. And let me go ahead and dovetail this one right here, like that. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drive one of these pipe cleaners through, and I'm gonna go ahead and pull back, and I'm gonna attach this to my little swag, like this. And then I'm gonna spin it around, and I'm gonna go ahead and attach it, pulling really tight. And I'm gonna use this leftover pipe cleaners. I'm gonna bring my candy cane right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go ahead and attach it right here. And just by pushing really hard, I'm gonna flip it over. And what you wanna do is you're gonna go ahead and use these pipe cleaners and just attach really tight. And voila, you have yourself a beautiful candy cane. Let's go ahead and fluff your ribbons. I'm gonna hang this in the door and show you what it looks like. All right, everyone, so for this project, what we're going to need is one of these Dollar Tree wicker wreath forms. We're gonna use a packet of this ties. These are the greenery ties, and then also 5 of these berry bushels. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go ahead and just insert some of these right here and then just kind of twist around. We just want a little bit of greenery on the wreath. We don't want to cover all of it, but we just want it to peekaboo. And as you guys can see, I'm just adding by inserting this wire into the wreath. It's very simple. So basically you just want to braid it. You can go in and out, and then just gonna go ahead and twist like this, and then just go ahead and insert right here. So we're gonna go ahead and cover most of it, not all of it, because we really need to just have a little bit of green. So I'm gonna go ahead and add like this, twist, then out right here. Then I'm gonna go ahead and add one right here, twist. And it looks like we're gonna need one more. At this point, you could glue that if you wanted to, but you guys know I like to recycle my materials. So I'm not gonna go ahead and glue it just because we know we'll need this for other projects. All right, so I have one more right here, so I'm gonna go ahead and twist. As you guys can see, it just gives it a little bit of greenery to our wreath. So then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and cut all of these guys right here. And you guys know that I like to cut them all at once because, well, it makes my life easier. So just go ahead and cut all of your berries, and also keep in mind that I like to keep the rest of this stem to make ornament picks. So I'll just go ahead and put them right here to the side. But I'm gonna go ahead and cut all of this right here. If you guys are enjoying this Christmas series, go ahead and give the video a thumbs up. I'm sure having a ball, and I wanna thank you guys so much for watching all of these videos. It really wouldn't be possible without you, so thank you so much. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go ahead, first of all, let's remove these pesky tags. They like to put these tags on these picks like we're gonna steal them or something. All right, so what you wanna do is you wanna go ahead and cut a little bit shorter, because what we're going to do is we're gonna go ahead and insert this guy into our wreath form like this. And what we're going to do is we're gonna go all the way around right here. And this is so easy, look, it just goes right in. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and add another one. This little wreath could be so pretty on the back of a chair, could be pretty on a window, on a cabinet. And it doesn't matter how small or large your wreath is, what you need to do is you need to continue this shape by going around the perimeter. And once again, you could glue right now if you wanted to, but I'm not going to, just because I will probably reuse the materials next year. If it was for retail, of course, then you have to. So I know some of you make these projects to sell, so then for that I would recommend you glue these projects together. And this bushel is only $1, you guys, and it has about 4 berries, and I only bought about 5 of these bushels. Our bushes, I know it's not called bushel. I don't know why I continue. And what you need to do is, like, once you went out, what you need to do is go back in, and you want to go make sure that you alternate, so that way your wreath starts to look fuller. And I remember I worked at this store where these wreaths were so expensive because this popcorn berry is just so outrageously expensive. And so one day I decided that I could do it myself. So I really encourage you that if you see something out on the market and if you like it, just go ahead and give it a try. If this is something you think you can do, just go ahead and give it a try, and you will be impressed as to how easy it really is. And right here, my other secret I can give you is, once you insert your stem, just go ahead and continue to flip around. That way, it will stay balanced. And then also, if you're not gonna glue, what I recommend is just to leave the stem longer. Don't cut it too short, because that way, it'll stick further into the form and it'll be harder for it to come out. As you guys can see, it really is becoming a really full wreath. And then also make sure that they pop up, because that makes it look more natural. I love the way this is looking, you guys. This is so pretty. Look, and when you have spaces like this, just go ahead and insert one all the way in. That way it looks way fuller. Once again, these tags, my goodness, they put like 50 tags per. This one's a little too long. So I'm just gonna go ahead and give it a clip. And I'm gonna go ahead and out right here. And always, always, always spin your wreath. And that's what's gonna give it that really balanced look. And every time you see an empty spot at this point, just go ahead and insert one of your berries. And I know this little wreath right here, it's no more than like $6 to make, and it will retail for at least 15. So you're really saving yourself some money by making it yourself. As you guys can see, it's looking really full. So I'm just gonna go ahead and spin it around, because I feel like it needs one right here. All right, so this is what it looks like so far, but I think we're gonna go ahead and add a cute little bow. So let me get my ribbons ready and I'll be right back with you. All right, so I have this leftover Dollar Tree ribbon with a little bit of gold. It's a wire edge ribbon. And I'm gonna make a cute little bow. I don't want anything too fancy or extravagant. So just basically I'm gonna do a tiny little bow just to give this wreath a little bit of pizzazz. So I think a 4 loop would be just fine. So there's 2, 3, and 4. And then what you need to do is just pinch right here, cut your ribbon. Oh, look, it was just perfect. I'm gonna put that to the side. And then I'm gonna grab one of these pipe cleaners that I have right here. The color doesn't matter, but I so happen to have some red ones. So I'm gonna go ahead and just put my pipe cleaner through. And I'm gonna go ahead and tie back and pull really, really tight. Once I do the first tie right here, what I like to do is open this right here and then pull that tail down and spin again. And the reason why is because that will pull your tail down like that. Then I'm gonna bring my wreath back up and I'm gonna go ahead and tie this guy to the top right here just to add a sweet little touch. Just go ahead and give it a little fluff like this. Dovetail your edges if you need to, like that. And look at that, you guys. How cute is this berry wreath? They can go on the back of a chair. It can go on a window. Absolutely love it. All right, you guys, so for this project, what we're going to need is a little red container, some florist foam. I'm gonna use one of these picks of red berries from the dollar store, as well as 2 of the very ornamental ones from the dollar store as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna get my foam out of this package because I need to cut a little piece. So what I'll do is just cut right here. And then with my own scissors, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go ahead and make a little mark right here, and then just basically cut my foam like this. And as you guys can see, it cuts it really, really easily. So then what I'm gonna do is get this out of the package, and then I'm gonna shave the corners just so I can insert my foam, make it a little bit more round. And as you guys can see, this foam is really easy to cut. So I'm just gonna go ahead and keep shaving until it is able to go in like this. All right, let me clean this real quick. All right, so once we have our foam in place, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna put it to the side and I'm gonna start pulling these picks apart. As you guys can see, it is super easy. So you want to make sure that you get all of them apart, because we're going to insert them into this container. However, we're going to insert them all separately to kind of balance it out a little bit more. So as you guys can see, it is super easy because they're just basically taped together. And so you just have to like split them apart like this. I love these ornaments, they're so cute. All right, so once we have it all apart, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it right here to the side. And I'm going to bring my container back with me. And I'm going to go ahead and insert the longest parts first. And so one of these picks came with one of these right here. So I'm going to go ahead and insert one right here. Then I'm going to go opposite side right here. And as you guys can see, just 2 picks is really enough to make something beautiful. So I'm going to continue to go and always spin around to balance your creation. I also love this cedar that came with. As you guys can see, I'm only using what came with these picks. These holly leaves, just go ahead and give them a little fluff and insert them in there. So basically, you're just giving this pick a new life, a new purpose, like this. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this to the side, and I'm going to cut all of these berries out of the package, like this. Remember to keep your stem because you need those. Right, and then I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add these berries right here. This one's a little long, so cut it short. Cut it as short as you need it, right? And then I'm going to go ahead and insert right here, like this. It's getting a little tight, but just keep pushing until you can insert your berry, like that. And all you need is 4, as you can see. 4 really do go a long way, like that. Then what you need to do is you need to insert all of these glitter berries that came with your picks to give them a little bit more pizzazz. And remember to always spin your arrangement around. Then it came with this pine cone right here, so I'm gonna add those closer to the rim of the container. And if it won't go in, just make sure you twist those around so it becomes stronger. See, that way you can really push it in. And I'm gonna spin it around, and I'm gonna do another one on this side. And I love the fact that they come with a little bit of glitter. So I'm gonna go ahead and insert this guy right here. And then we have all these ornaments, and I think we'll just add a few of them. Once again, just go ahead and twist these guys to kind of create a pick like this. And I'm gonna go ahead and insert one right here on the top, like so. And then I'm gonna go ahead and add another smaller one just right here to the rim, pushing down. And I think actually I'm gonna add a third one. So as you guys can see, that was a pick we're supposed to use as a pick. However, just by changing and adding a few more elements, it really helps you create this beautiful floral arrangement. And this is gonna go on my desk, and I cannot wait to show you what it looks like. Okay, so now for the instructions on how to enter the Christmas giveaway this year. It's super simple. All you have to do is share this video with the hashtag #RamonAtHomeChristmas. Whether you do it on Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, an email, or a text, just be sure you do hashtag #RamonAtHomeChristmas. Once you have shared it, you have to do is take a screenshot of that shared and send it to me via DM on my Instagram or Facebook. That's how I'm going to keep track of all the people that enter the giveaway. Once you have shared it with the hashtag #RamonAtHome and you send me a screenshot via DM on Facebook or Instagram, you have to come back here and leave a comment with the hashtag shared. That is how simple it is. So number 1, share it with the hashtag #RamonAtHome. Number 2, send me a screenshot. Number 3, come back here and leave a comment. And you're going going to be entered in winning one of the gift cards. There's going to be 3 winners. One is going to be $100 and 2 is going to be $50 gift cards to Hobby Lobby, you guys. That's just to get you kick started with your Christmas decorating this year. And while we're here, let me take a second to invite you to come and join me on my Instagram for daily Insta stories, behind the scenes, and all of the things you don't get to see here on my YouTube channel. The links to all of my social medias are linked down below, along with my Etsy shop if you decide to check it out. All right, let's get back to the video. Okay, so I thought I would take a second to show you guys a little behind the scenes of what happens when you decorate one of these Christmas trees for YouTube. And so we have all of our mess right here. As you guys can see, I've been prepping. We have our camera right here, ready to shoot with all of our lights. And over here we have the Christmas tree. As you guys can see, all of the ribbons, lanterns already in place, some of the ornaments already in place, so it's time to get started. All right, everyone, so to decorate this entryway into our dining room, I want to go ahead and put a garland up. I want to put some lights and add a really beautiful focal point in the middle. So what I need to do first is I'm going to fluff my garland, because it is easier if you just fluff while you're down here. Then what I need to do is I'm going to add some nails to both corners of this entryway and one right here in the middle. And then we're going to attach this garland over the top. We're going to put some lights on it, and then I'll show you the treatment we're going to do. But the first order of things is to fluff your garland, and for that you have to grab every bristle. Once you have it all fluffed out, what you need to do is find the middle of it right here. Make sure it's all straight, because actually, you know what, I recommend you grab both of these corners, the 2 ends, and that will be the easiest way to find the middle of it. Sometimes you just have to wrestle these things. So you basically stretch as much as you can, and that's going to be your middle. So now I'm gonna get up there, I'm gonna install it, and I'll be right back. Stay tuned. All right, you guys, so for this, I'm gonna have to roll my sleeves up, because this garland is about to get messy but beautiful at the same time. And I want to talk to you real quick about 2 things as I roll my sleeves. First of all, these rise lights, I love them because they have multiple lights on them, and so you can just fluff them once you put them on your garland. So what I did is I attached both of the corners, and now what I'm going to do is, I'm sorry if I disappear, I'm going to go ahead and attach the middle right here. So just go ahead and put on your bristle, and that way you know how you have evenly distributed lights for the left as well as you do for the right. So basically what you do now is you make sure that you swirl these lights all the way around your garland on both sides. So I'm gonna do this side, sorry if I lose you, and then I'm gonna go ahead and start over on this side and just going in and out, all the way in and out, very loosely, because you want them to show. But like I told you, I like these lights because they really have so many of them. You can just fluff them and point them out as you go. All right, so what I need to do for the center right here is I'm gonna make a bow to match the one on my fireplace, and also this is the ribbon that matches our tree. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna just go ahead and cut a long tail like this, because that's gonna be evenly distributed for both sides. So actually what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go ahead and pinch right here. And if my cameraman can take us up, I'm just gonna take a little step right here, and I'm gonna go ahead and install this guy right here and just twist it with the bristle, and I'm gonna leave it there for now. All right, so then what I'm going to do is I'm gonna make the bow. So I'm gonna grab one of these guys. I'm gonna dovetail. Then, so easy. Look at that. We're gonna pinch. Then I'm gonna go under and make probably a 6 to 8 inch bow. Like this. Now what I like about this ribbon is because the wire is really good and it really holds the shape of your bows. And as you guys can see, I'm gonna do a 3-loop bow. So I'm gonna go under one more time. Then I'm gonna grab one of my wires, and I always recommend to have all of your tools ready. That way it makes it easier. So we're gonna go back up and put this bow here in the middle. And that is perfect because that is all the ribbon we have. Then using your wire that you use, we're gonna go ahead and attach to some of these bristles like this. And of course, we're not gonna worry about the bow right now because we're gonna do the same thing with our Harlequin ribbon. So I'm gonna go ahead and dovetail right here. And I'm gonna do 1 loop. Now I did a 3 bow with the red, so I think I'm gonna do just a 2 with this Harlequin. Then I'm gonna grab my wire. Now this is the best tip I can give you, having your wires ready, because it really does make your job so much easier, I promise you. All right, then I'm gonna go ahead and use these wires right here, and I'm gonna put it right on the same spot as the other one is, just making sure that it's really tight. I'm grabbing this wire and just swirling around on one of my bristles, and if not the same one, if you can find the same one, then that works even better. So now you just fluff your bow like this, but we have one more, of course. We're gonna do the glitter one, and remember the glitter one always goes at the end because it is mesh, and you wanna make sure that it has something on the background to show. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and do a little loop. I'm gonna do actually about a 6-inch loop. Then I'm gonna go under, and I am so in love with this ribbon because it's so easy to work with. I'm just gonna go ahead and do a 3-loop bow right here. I'm gonna grab my wire, and I'm going to really tightly spin around, and I'm gonna put it right in the same spot as the other one, right here. So easy, yet so elegant. I cannot wait for you guys to see. All right, so now that you have all of your bows, you go ahead and fluff, and don't forget to dovetail all of your ribbons, especially the ones that are gonna be hanging down, like this one right here. All right. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna bring my Harlequin ribbon down, and I'm gonna start doing the loops. Sorry if I disappear here. So I'm gonna do bigger loops. I want it to really show. So I'm gonna go under this bow right here, probably about a 10-inch loop, bringing it up, and then twisting right here with my bristles. Then I'm gonna grab my red one that we left. Remember those longer tails that we've put in first? I'm gonna grab one. I'm gonna go over, and then I'm going to go ahead and pinch right here, and then I'm going to put right here and grab my bristles and twist, creating these loops like this. Look how fun. All right, so now I'm gonna continue to do that until I'm done with this side, and I'll be right back. Stay tuned. Okay, so the last thing I'm gonna add to this simple swag is gonna be one of these garland of ornaments. We also put this on our mantle and also on our Christmas tree. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go ahead and divide it. And I want it to be a little taller because I don't want it to hit anyone in the head. So I'm just gonna grab a bristle right here, and I'm gonna fold it up. I'm gonna give it a little bit of a swag right here. Then I'm gonna grab another bristle and fold up. Then I'm gonna come up and put another bristle up. And I'm gonna repeat over on this side like this. Now make sure that when somebody walks in, it doesn't hit them in the head, and it is perfect. Now the only one thing that I want to add, it's a few of these specialty ornaments. So basically I'm just gonna grab this on my bristle and fold. And I have some of these Harlequins. I have some of these polka dot ones that I want to add. And just go ahead and distribute them all the way through the garland by swirling around your bristle and then just fold it up. I'm gonna add a few more of those all throughout the garland and I'll show you the end result. Keep watching. All right, everyone, so for this side of the entryway, as you can see, the Christmas tree is on this side, and if you have not seen the way we decorate a Christmas tree, all of those videos are going to be linked down below so you can check them out. But for this side, I wanted to do just like a simple swag over here to kind of accent the Christmas tree, the entryway, and the mantle. So what I'm going to do is I'm first going to make a bow, and I'm going to use the exact same ribbon. As I mentioned to you before, it's so important that you have your tools at the ready all the time. And this is gonna be just something simple, nothing too fussy, because I don't want it to take away too much from the Christmas tree. But let's be honest, I don't know, too simple. Everything has to be fussy. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go ahead and dovetail all of my ribbons. And as you guys know, I just like to drop them on the floor. It is easier that way. So I just dovetail both of them. And I cannot wait to read your comments. And I've been having so much fun, you guys. And there's still so much more to go that I cannot wait to show you what's next. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and put the red one on the back. I'm gonna give myself a few tails about that long. Then I'm going to pinch right here. And I'm gonna just do a simple bow. I'm gonna go ahead and pinch right here. And I'm gonna pinch again. Now here's the secret. I ran out of my gold ribbon. And at this point in the game, I just don't want to go out and buy some more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use these last two end tails that I have. I'm going to go ahead and put one on the bottom. Then I'm going to go ahead and put one right here on the top, like this. And this is an easy way to just add the color, right? So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my wire. As I tell you, always 22 gauge wire, pre-cut wire. Take the time to pre-cut it, and then you can be so fast once you have all of your tools ready and your wires pre-cut. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull really tight, and I'm gonna go ahead and twist. And of course, I'm gonna use the wires to attach to the swag we're making. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut, and I'm gonna cut smaller tails, because like I told you, I don't want it to be overpowering my Christmas tree. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and flap, so I'm gonna move those tails, and I did a 3 loop, so I'm just gonna go ahead and grab my red, pull it out. Then over on this side, I'm gonna grab my red and pull it out right here, and then I'm gonna go ahead and pull it out over here, and just be sure to dovetail. So what I'm gonna start doing is I'm gonna dovetail all of these tails that I added, very short. And as I said, this is just gonna be a little accent, and I am obsessed with this mesh ribbon. It is so beautiful. So every single tail is gonna have a dovetail. I'm gonna get those done and I'll be right back. Okay, so once my bow is done, I'm gonna go ahead and put it to the side. And then I'm gonna bring these really beautiful sprays of snowy pine, and I'm gonna go ahead and put them back to back like this. And I'm going to allow about 18 inches, and then I'm gonna give it a curvature because I want it to drape all the way down to the table. So I'm gonna go ahead and add this eucalyptus right here. And I'm gonna go ahead and use 2 of these eucalyptus. So I'm gonna add this guy right here, like this. Now this is gonna be my center, and just go ahead and give it a curvature like that. Then I'm gonna add one more of these guys right here on the top, kind of bring it closer and give it a curvature like this. I had a third one, but I don't think we're gonna need it because I really just wanted to, oh, you know what, I'm gonna add it, why not? I'm gonna add right here with a curvature like this. Give it a fluff. so it's fluffy, like this. Okay, so the next thing I'm gonna add is just a little touch of red with these berries and ornaments, and just go ahead and give it a fluff like this. And then I have this really pretty champagne one that I'm gonna go ahead and put up here on the top, and just go ahead and put it right there. And then with a zip tie, you know, our zip ties are our best friends for any decorator. I'm gonna go ahead and just give this a little zip tie and pull it really tight to make sure that it's all secure, like that. Then with your wire cutters, you just go ahead and cut your excess, like so. So now we put it all together. We're gonna bring our bow, and I'm gonna go ahead and attach my bow right here with my wires. And we fluff. So now I'm gonna move my candles, my candle sticks that I got from Ross just for my Christmas season. I'm gonna go ahead and put this guy, make sure you swag it to one side like this. And you go ahead and fluff all of your tails to make sure they all show like this. Then I'll bring some other ones of my candles and add them right here and right here. And just like that, you have a beautiful swag for an entryway table that matches our Christmas tree and the rest of our home decor. What do you guys think? All right, so what we're going to do is we're gonna go ahead and stagger this guy. So this is gonna be the top of our swag. So we're gonna go put it right here, and then we're gonna go ahead and insert this guy right here. And first, what I'm going to do to cover this wire is I'm gonna go ahead and swirl this zip or this bristles on it. But then to secure it, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna use 2 zip ties. And so I'm gonna zip tie and make sure that this stays together. And you know, once you pull on that zip tie, if you made a mistake, you have to cut it. So be like they say, you know, measure twice and cut once. So I'm gonna go ahead and do one right there. Then I'm gonna go ahead and put another one up here just to really secure and make sure that that's going to stay in place. So once we have our Christmas trees attached together, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and cut the excess like this. And so that's how we have our swag. Look, this is going to be the frame for our teardrop swag. So then what we'll do is we're gonna grab 2 of these bristles right here, and then we're gonna swirl them around together like this, like so. So many of you have told me that you miss me saying like so, and I've been trying to just stay away from it. Sometimes still pops up, but so we're gonna swirl them like so, and then we're gonna go ahead and stick it on our easel. Now, a lot of you also have asked me what this easel is, and this is just a florist easel. It's used in the floral industry. If you go to any of your florists, your local florists, you can probably buy one from them. They're super affordable. They're about $13. So that's what our swag form looks like, and if you guys see, it looks just like a teardrop swag. So then what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go ahead and drop my my deco mesh, and I'm going to go ahead and start up here. So what I want to do is I want to just do some loops here to kind of give us some girth. And what you need to do is just go ahead and pinch right here and swirl. And I'm gonna do one more right here. And I came to the bottom of it and I have some left, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut it right here. But then I'm gonna start back up because I have some left. So I'm gonna go ahead and just pinch right here. And the more deco mesh you have, well, the more fuller it's going to look. So I'm gonna go ahead and just pinch right here. Perfect. So then to continue to give it even more girth, I'm gonna go ahead and use some of this meshy ribbon that I found also at the dollar store, and that's gonna give it a lot of sparkle. So I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and do one loop right here, just using those bristles. So I'm gonna go ahead and attach like this, and then I'm gonna go ahead and do one more right here, and just make sure that you go in, and look how beautiful this sparkles. I absolutely love it. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut. Then I'm gonna move on to the other side. Thumbs up if you guys are enjoying this swag. And then also let me comment below and let me know if you've seen this idea done before of a swag with the Christmas trees. I know I've done some centerpieces, which we'll do. I'll show you how to do a super easy centerpiece with these Christmas trees. And I'm gonna show you a picture of it with a table and everything. So I'm gonna go ahead and pinch right here. Look how beautiful that sparkles, you guys. That is so pretty. All right, so I came down all the way to the bottom, and I'm gonna go ahead and just lay it on top of this deco mesh. I'm just gonna twist right there, and I'm gonna put it, I have a little bit of it left, so I think I'm gonna use it for tails. All right, so then I have my hot glue gun right here hitting, but what I'm going to do is I'm gonna use one of these picks, and probably just one, and I'm gonna go ahead and insert it right here, and I'm gonna secure it with some of my bristles. So basically this Christmas tree is just our base to embellish and to create a beautiful swag. Then I have one more of this right here, so I'm gonna go ahead and insert it on the other side, probably right around here, all the way up. I'm gonna go ahead and stick it and push really hard so it goes all the way up, like so. And I'm just gonna go ahead and secure with one of the bristles. And that way we have some other type of greenery and it looks absolutely beautiful. So then the next thing I wanna do is I have these picks from Walmart, and I am gonna cut them all. I'm gonna free them from their form. And also remember to save that little pick part because we can use it later. But what I'm going to do with these picks, I'm sure I'm gonna cut both of them to kind of save us some time. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut this guy from its form, and I'm gonna have these guys right here. So what I'm going to do is with my hot glue gun, I'm gonna go ahead and put some glue in it, and I'm just gonna go ahead and kind of pick them in to give us even more texture, like this. And because the hot glue gun is really hot, then it'll really stick. And as you guys can see, it really is giving it a lot of texture. And then what I'm gonna do is actually I'm gonna go ahead and put a few of them going up like that. They're really floppy and they're only $1 from Walmart. So I really recommend you get yourself a few. Look how pretty, they just give it that bounce texture to your swag. All right, I'm gonna add a few more right down here. Sometimes you have to glue, sometimes you don't. But if it is for outdoors, I really recommend you go ahead and glue it because it'll help it just look to stick in it. I love the way this is looking. But then what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go ahead and free some of these ornaments that came from the dollar store. You get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 ornaments for $1. And these little ornaments are perfect for projects like this because they don't have to be super, super big to show. And then what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go ahead and get some of these little ones too. And on this one you get 16 pieces for $1. But the packaging at Dollar Tree is always top notch. So we're gonna just go ahead and cut them. And I'm gonna free them like that. So then what I'm going to do is I'm just gonna go ahead and glue a little bit of glue, and I'm gonna stick some of them right here. And I'm gonna do little clusters. These are smaller, so I want them to show. So I'm gonna do like 2, 1 of each on each side. And you can go all the way down. And that's just gonna catch the light. It's gonna give it a lot of sparkle, and it's gonna look super cute. Like this. This is a very frosty theme. All right, so then I need to get a few more of these out. Perfect. We're not gonna do a whole bunch of them just because I just want a little bit to catch the light. I'm gonna do a few more out here. And what we're going to do next is make a beautiful bow. I'm gonna add one of the little ones right there. And as you guys know, I like to work with sets of 1, 2s, and 3s. And the reason why is because when you're working with smaller elements like this, it really does help to show better. Like I'm gonna add one probably right about here. And then I'm gonna add a little one to kind of be this companion, because that way it will show better. Perfect. Oh, that looks so cute. I love it. All right, so then the next thing we're going to do is we're gonna go ahead and make a beautiful bow for it. So I'm gonna start with some tails, and I already have a piece of ribbon. I always encourage you always to use your leftover ribbon. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and fold it like that. And by the way, leave me a comment down below if you guys want to see how at the end of the season I store my ribbons and my ornaments. If you guys want to see a video like that, just type below a comment so I can make a video for you guys. All right, so I'm basically just making a beautiful bow like this. And I'm gonna do, because this ribbon is very thin and it's a sheer ribbon, I always recommend to make a thicker bow so it shows better. But if you have a thicker ribbon that shows a lot more, then you don't really need to make very many loops. So I'm gonna go ahead and do probably 4 on each side like this. So I have 4, and then what I'm going to do is, remember that leftover ribbon that I had from the meshing material? Well, I'm gonna stick that also in as a tail. And then what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab one of my zip ties. She's right here on my drawer. I'm gonna drive it through. And then I'm gonna pull back, making sure that I have all of my ribbons secure. Then I'm gonna tie it very tight, like that. And then I'm gonna go ahead and attach this guy up here on the top. And for that, I might have to take my swag off. And then what I'm gonna do is just very tightly secure it, put it back on my stand so we can fluff this bow. And look at that, you guys, how cute is this? Oh my gosh. Then what you need to do is, you need to first of all separate your tails. And then what you need to do is do like a little loop like this and secure with the bristle, and do the same on the other side. I'm gonna go ahead and grab this guy right here and secure it right here. And then what you need to do is you need to just dovetail your ends like that, and we're gonna go ahead and free that one. And up here I'm just gonna go ahead and dovetail really short, and then this one a little bit longer, like so. And then this one right here. And just like that, you guys, just in minutes, you have created this gorgeous swag that is wintry. I really love how it looks at this point, but I really think it could use a few more ornaments around the bow. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and insert just a few of the smaller ornaments to give it a little bit of pop. And remember to add a few of them together. And as you guys can see, just by adding a few together, they show better. That is a secret I can give you. Never dot your ornaments, always put them together in groups. And I absolutely love the way this is looking. And I want right here. Look at that. Very simple and in a few minutes. All right, everyone, so for this fabulous Dollar Tree centerpiece using the Christmas trees, what we're going to need is obviously 2 of the mini Christmas trees in the green. We're going to use 2 zip ties. We're gonna use 4 of these picks from the dollar store, and these are my favorite this year. We're going to use 1 of these bushes of the berries, and a bow that I already pre-made. So let me clear this out real quick and we're gonna get started. We're also gonna need our hot glue gun. So I'm gonna put all of my tools to the side while I take these Christmas trees out of the package. And you guys have seen these centerpieces done, but I'm still gonna show you the Ramon at home version. You guys know that I like to use Dollar Tree items and make them look a little bit more upscale, so you guys can look absolutely beautiful. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put this over here to the side. So the first thing you need to do is take the stems out of it, and I also love the fact that they come with the little stems. Then what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go ahead and cross them like this, and by using my zip ties, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to secure them right here by using 2 of them, so that way we make sure that they don't move and they don't go anywhere. So basically just zip tie these 2 guys together as close as you can and pull as tight as you can. And like I said, you want to do 2 of them just to make sure that they don't shift. If you do 1, then it will shift, but if you do 2 like this, trust me when I say it is not going anywhere. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and first cut the excess, like here, and then I start the fluffing process. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go ahead and fluff out. These will look so pretty with some tall taper candles. What I want you to do also is just give it some dimension. Don't do all flat. Also put some up, because it is a centerpiece, so it has to be up and down. And if we pull them up, then when we put the tapers down on the table, it helps to disguise that taper. And I will show you once I get it all finished. I'll tell you what it looks like with my taper. Some of them come like that. Save these parts because we can use those to attach to other items. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a minute to fluff this, and I will be right back with you guys. All right, you guys, so now that our mini trees are all fluffed out and it looks pretty full, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go ahead and actually put it over here to the side, and I'm gonna bring 2 of the picks that I love from the dollar store, and I'm gonna go ahead and crisscross them like this, and also using one of our trusty zip ties. You know, I cannot live without the zip ties. I'm gonna go ahead and attach these guys together like this, or like so. There goes another like so. I'm so trying to get away from it, but sometimes, you know, it's just because I'm a self-taught English speaker. Once you learn a word, you cannot let go of it. All right, and our bow has these 2 pipe cleaners that we attach with. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go ahead and attach my bow. I'm gonna swirl it around and very tightly just spin it around, okay? Once you have it like this, what you need to do is you need to go ahead and fluff all of your greens and make sure, you know, some of these ornaments are hiding. Make sure that you pull them up over the bow. You can pull this pine cone over here over the bow and just go ahead and fluff this bow. Make sure the tails are showing, those ornaments, those berries are showing. They're on a wire, so pull them up like that. All right. So once we have this done like this, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna bring my centerpiece back into the picture, and now I'm gonna go ahead and attach the bow into the centerpiece, and very tightly. Once again, you wanna do this very tightly, just to make sure that it goes as flat on the centerpiece. You're gonna go ahead and secure it like that. And now you can go ahead and fluff again. Make sure those tails are showing. So I'm gonna bring, because one tail is this way, I'm gonna go ahead and bring the other one all the way over and bring it over here so it's more cohesive. So I like the way this looks already. However, over here is empty. So what I did is I went ahead and put apart 2 of these picks, and I just took them apart. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab my hot glue gun, and then I'm gonna start gluing some of these pieces. Like, if you can see, this is like a brush pine. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go ahead and put it right here, and that really helps to fill in. And then I have this really pretty cedar. So basically just add a little bit of glue to it, and then you can go ahead and poke it in somewhere And I recommend you poke it like this, like sideways, so that way it is more visible. And then also what you want to do is you want to go ahead and balance what you're doing. So basically what you do on one side, you want to do on the other side. So I added one of the brush ones over here. So then I went ahead and added one of the brush ones over here. Then I added a cedar over on this side. Well, now I'm going to go ahead and add a cedar onto the other side to balance it off. So that way what is going on over here, it's also going on over here. All right, so this one also comes with this cute little berry. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go ahead and put some glue into my berry, and then I'm gonna go ahead and attach this guy right here towards the end, just making sure that I hide the stem. Then because I put one over here, we're gonna go over to the other side. We're gonna put some glue into our berry, and this is called balancing your arrangement. I don't know how many of you guys know, but I worked as a florist for over 10 years, and that's where I learned all of my tricks about balancing. So then it also came with some of the same pine greenery. So basically I'm just gonna go ahead and stick it in to kind of fill it in. Not so much because it needs it, but those Christmas trees they're only $1, but look what you can do with $1. If you pull apart another pick, and look, it just helps you to really fill it in. And it's going to look absolutely gorgeous for under $8. Can you guys believe that? $8, you can create something gorgeous like this. And I cannot wait to show you what it looks like on my table. All right, so then I have some of these ornaments, and they come with a wire. So basically I'm just gonna cut that wire out, and I'm gonna go ahead and put some glue into the ornament, and I'm just gonna go ahead and glue them in to some of my pine bristles like this, and secure them. Go ahead and hang on to it for a second. And remember, what you do on one side, you have got to go and do on the other side. That's why it's so important to work with equal amounts, because when you're balancing, you kind of need that. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut that one out, and I'm gonna go ahead and add one more right here. Let your eye dictate where it needs it. Okay, now I have another big one over here, so I'm gonna cut that wire out, and then I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit of glue. I'm gonna add this guy right here. Then I have some of these pine cones that are really, really pretty and glittered. I want this guy to be a little bit more in a prominent spot. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and lift my bow right here, and I'm gonna put it right here. And that's turning out really cute. Now I also have some of these berries from the bundle. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna go ahead and pull the stem out and just keep the berries. And what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go ahead and put some glue. Now here's something I want you to know. So this is our core right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna start right here, and then I'm going to go across from my core, and I'm gonna do one right here. Then I'm gonna get a few more just to show you one more time. Then I'm gonna do the opposite. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go right here and glue it in, and then I'm gonna go opposite sides, and I'm gonna glue in yet another one just by adding some glue. So if you guys can see, it balanced the whole centerpiece very well. And then I have two left, and what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go ahead and extend that by adding all the way to the end, and that way it's going to look so much better. Look, now we're extending to one side, and we're gonna go ahead and extend to the other side right here. And just like that, you guys, you have a gorgeous, gorgeous centerpiece for your Christmas table, and under $8. How about that? As I told you at the beginning of this video, I wanted you to stick around because I have an extra tip for you, and that's going to be if you can now make a lavish and gorgeous wreath like the one I just showed you with the rose gold. I want to show you how you can buy one of these pre-made ones and then also just a little garland. And what you need to do is weave this garland through your wreath, and it's going to give it so much more depth. And as you guys can see, I'm doing it with very easily and with basically no effort. But you do have to make sure that this garland is weaved in, and we're gonna go ahead and attach it with some wire at the end. But I just wanna show you that if you just go in and out in between the ornaments, it really helps to add some girth to the wreath, some texture. Look at that, how pretty is that? Okay, I'm gonna go to the other side and finish over on this side. Then what you need to do is you're gonna grab one of your wires to secure it all. And these are one of the wreaths that it's made out of grapevine, and so it's real easy to just pull that wire through and then attach your wreath like this. All right, so once you have added this garland, all you have to do is go fluff. And what I love about this garland is so dainty and so wispy. And you guys know I love my wispies. I'm always talking to you about wispiness on the wreaths. All right, so that added some depth. So now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna pick a ribbon that will complement this wreath. We're gonna get it all attached together, and in 1, 2, 3, you'll have a gorgeous wreath for your door. Stay tuned. All right, so I'm just going in with one of the wires that I showed you how to pre-tape earlier. And just by having all these pieces already done, it is super easy to just go in through your grapevine and then pulling through, making sure that you grab that garland and then attaching. And that garland is not going anywhere anytime soon. Just keep in mind, if you want to take it apart, then to cut those wires. Okay, so now you give your wreath a little fluffing that garland. So now we're gonna make a sweet bow for this. I love this. Look how gorgeous and dainty this is. That's really cute. All right, so now I'm gonna make a cute little bow with 2 ribbons, and I'll show you the end result. All right, you guys, so step number 2 for this real quick wreath is to make a beautiful bow. And for this particular one, I chose this black and white and a little bit of silver to contrast all the silver on the wreath. So basically, I'm just gonna go back here and I'm gonna pull with my wire as back as I can onto the form. I'm gonna take it actually off the stand so I can do this properly. There we go. So you pull really hard to the back, and then you attach and just make sure that you really swirl those wires together so they stick together. And because they're pre-taped with that tape that I always tell you guys to get yourself a bolt, and it's not going anywhere. All right, so I'm gonna hang it right here back into the form. So I have a pretty big bow. What you need to do is fluff this bow and make it look gorgeous and lavish. We'll dovetail all these ends, but what I went ahead and did is I left these really long tails, and the reason why is because I want to go ahead and grab right here. I'm gonna pinch, then I'm gonna use this ornament right here to create a loop, and I'm gonna go around it, go all the way around that ornament to secure it, and then you've created a little loop, and then we'll go ahead and dovetail this guy right here. So I'm gonna go ahead, pull this guy up, and I'm gonna do the exact same thing, making sure that that designer part of the ribbon shows. So I'm gonna go ahead and just pinch right here, find my ornament that I wanna go ahead and twist around to secure, make your loop, and then bow. And because I have another tail right here, I'm gonna go ahead and give it an even longer loop right here, and I'm gonna grab this ornament, and then I'm going to go ahead and twist around the ornament and just pull. And as you guys can see, this is more about the bow. This is a really good way to use your ribbons and to make them really stand out. Now this one I'm gonna go ahead and dovetail. So I'm gonna do a really short tail, always cutting up. And then you wanna go ahead and give him that little crinkle. Now this one I'm gonna do a longer tail. So I'm gonna make sure that it stands out to create a little bit of visual interest. And then this guy right here, I'm gonna go ahead, well, first of all, make sure that it's really attached to our ornament. When you go around, just go ahead and pull on that. That is gonna make sure that it's secured. Make sure you Give yourself enough give to make that loop. And then we're gonna go ahead and dovetail right here. And as you guys can see, I always tell you to go ahead and fluff your ribbons at the end. And as you can see, it didn't use a lot of product. All you needed was a little wreath, a garland, and a few ribbons, and you have yourself a beautiful wreath for your door for Christmas. All right. All right, everyone, so before we start, I just want to mention that before you get going with your swag, you have to fluff your swag going all directions, because these come really flat when they come out of the package. And then also I have pre-wired our main character, which is going to be this little guy right here. So he's going to be right here to the side. But before we do that, I have to go ahead and get started with the ribbons. And I have this really pretty ribbon. Now all of these materials are going to be the same materials that we use on the Whimsical Elf tree. If you have not seen the Whimsical Elf tree, I'm gonna link it up right here, right now, and also in the description box below, because there you can find all of the materials that we use for this tree. But we're gonna use this candy cane ribbon. I'm gonna use the polka dot ribbon, exact same ribbons that I used, actually the leftover ones, these really pretty fun glitter polka dot, and then also these really cool stripes. So there's going to be 4 ribbons. I have my wires pre-cut right here with me, and then also my scissors and my wire cutter. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and drop this on the floor, and I'm gonna start with this one because it is the thickest out of all of them. So it's gonna cover a lot of the perimeter of our wreath. So I'm gonna start with a dovetail like that. You guys have seen me do this before, so I'm just gonna pinch right here, and then I'm going to fold under, fluffing my bow and making a really pretty bow. Then you're gonna twist, and then you're gonna go ahead and do another bow. Now you have to have really good quality ribbons to kind of create this really pretty bow effect. So I'm gonna go ahead and do yet another one right here. This is going to be mainly ribbons on this swag, and it's gonna be so much fun. You guys will just see. So I'm gonna do a 4-loop bow right here, like this. This is gonna be our main ribbon. I'm gonna grab one of my wires right here, and I'm gonna go ahead and twist on the back really tight. I cannot stress that enough to you guys. You have to do it really tight. Then I'm gonna grab these wires, and I'm gonna go ahead and start right here on the top, flipping our ribbon. And you can always take your swag out of your stand. A lot of you guys ask me where I got this stand. This is actually a funeral wreath stand. You can find this at any of your florists. If you live in the California area, any floral supply like Shinoda Design Center has this type of ribbon. So I have a 4-loop bow right here. Then I'm gonna go ahead and bring this guy, the polka dot one with the greens and the reds, and I'm gonna go ahead and dovetail. And I'm going to go ahead and do the exact same thing. So basically do 1 loop like this. Then I'm going to fold under. And for this particular bow, because it is a smaller ribbon, you want the loops to be a little bigger than the other one, because this one, you don't want it to overpower all of them. So I'm going to go ahead and do maybe a 3. So we're gonna do a 3-loop bow. And remember, what we're doing basically is building the bow on the top by adding different ribbons and different bows. I love this technique. It is so much fun. It is super easy to decorate any ribbon, tree, wreath. And as you guys can see, just by adding that right here is creating your bow. And then we're gonna go ahead and do the loops. Just make sure that you take it off, and then you twist all of these wires together. And then at the end, you can cut the excess. This particular swag does come with a hanger on it. So I'm gonna go ahead and make sure that my ribbon is all ready like this, as you guys can see. Then I'm gonna add the 3rd one, which is going to be this polka dot one right here. So I'm gonna add that to the floor, and I'm gonna go ahead and dovetail my ribbon. And with this particular one, I'm going to do a 2 loop. So once again, you always start with your dovetail end, and then you go ahead and do your bow, but this big, and then you're gonna grab your wire. It is easier if you have your wires already pre-cut, and I've told you this, guys, many times before. This is a 22 gauge wire that comes on a bolt, and I just take the time to pre-cut it. That way it's faster. So basically we're gonna go ahead and add the 3rd ribbon, and look how fun that is already. Then you fold, and then you find your wire back here, and it's getting a little tight, just like this. Then of course we fluff all of our bows, and we're gonna hang this guy back into our stand. Look how fun that is. All right, so far we have 3. I'm gonna add the 4th one. How fun is this? And for this particular one, because it is the smallest one, I'm gonna go ahead and do a 3, but not without dovetailing this guy right here. I cannot wait for you guys to see the end result. This is gonna be so much fun. Once again, if you have any kids or grandkids, I really recommend to do something fun with them, especially this year. You know, it's been so tough on everybody, and the kids just, basically Christmas is for the children, and so I really recommend to do something fun for them this year. So whether it's a technique or the characters, just give them something extra special, because it has been a tough year for everybody. So I am gonna do something fun for my little nephew, who's only 1 year old, and I cannot wait for him to see what we're doing for the holiday season. So I'm gonna go ahead and add this guy right here on the other side to complete our bow. So one more time, I'm gonna unhook it, and then I'm going to go ahead and just find a way all the way around and grab that wire on the back, and then just twist them around. And as you guys can see, that gave us a super fun bow on the top, and I'm gonna go ahead and just hang it back up. And you have all of the ribbons. Oh my gosh, this is so cute. This really is cute. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go ahead and start with this guy. I'm gonna bring it over to this side. Then I'm gonna give it a loop right here. I'm gonna pinch, and once again, go all the way into the swag to create that loop, all right? Then I'm gonna go ahead and grab this guy right here and giving it a bigger loop, because remember, we're gonna add some other items, so you want those loops to be extra fluffy, because they are going to get lost if you don't fluff this guy right here. Then I'm gonna go ahead and grab this guy and make one more loop by pinching right here, and I'm gonna go ahead and go all the way basically to the root of the swag, and look at that. Now remember, we always fluff these bows at the end, so I'm gonna go ahead and grab this guy right here, and I'm gonna kind of go ahead and bring it to this, actually over here to the corner, so there's something on the outside. Now I'm gonna stop right here, because like I told you, this character is going to be our main character on this swag. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this guy, so I already pre-wired it, so I just basically attach it to the waist. You know what, I just noticed that I still have the tag hanging from this guy, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut that, because tags are tacky, remember? All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and put it, I have my focal point right here. Then I don't want it to go all the way down and cover the bottom. I want it to be about 2/3 down from the swag, and I'm gonna go ahead and attach. So I'm gonna take my swag one more time off the stand, just so I can put this character in here. I'm gonna go ahead and grab those 2 wires, and I'm gonna go ahead and go all the way to the back. Do you know, at this point, if you have a little elf that can help you, I really recommend the help, because as you guys can see, it's a little tough, but we're gonna get it done. All right, after wrestling with my little character right here, I'm gonna go ahead and put the swag back into my stand so we can continue on. But as you guys can see, he just creates a really fun focal point right here that's gonna look extra fun on your door. So then I'm gonna continue with my loops. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna now bring this guy forward over this way, and then I'm gonna pinch right here. And then remember to go all the way in, so the ribbon looks like it's being intentional coming out of the swag. And then I skipped over to this side, so I'm gonna go ahead and add this guy right here, creating a loop, twisting those ribbon wires on it. And then I'm gonna go ahead and add this one right here. So I'm gonna do a bigger loop. You know, some ribbons are a little bit more difficult to work with, and I really do believe the quality does matter when it comes down to ribbon. The better the quality, the more and easier it is to work with them than if you don't have quality ribbons. So far so good, so I'm gonna go ahead and then bring this guy, do another loop right here. I don't want him to get lost, so therefore I'm not gonna go ahead and swap ribbons at this point, so I'm just gonna continue on that side. As I weave them in and out on this side, as you guys can see, I'm alternating. On this side, I'm just keeping it simple because he's on that side. All right, so then I'm gonna go ahead and swap over here. I'm gonna go ahead and do another loop, attach right here with my bristle. Then this guy right here, I'm gonna go ahead and pinch. How fun is this? This is so cute. And then I'm gonna go ahead and grab this guy right here and pinch and do yet another loop like this. All right, so I think at this point I'm just gonna dovetail some of my ribbons, and we'll fluff at the end, of course, because there's going to be more elements of ribbon coming your way. So at this point, I just recommend to dovetail all of your ribbons, or you can just cut and then at the end we'll dovetail. All right, you guys, so far we've added our main character right here. He's looking outside, and then I whipped all of the ribbons and did those dovetails. But now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab some of these ribbon that I have left over, and what I'm going to do is I'm gonna do some fun bows. So I'm gonna dovetail right here, and then I'm gonna go ahead and do a bow. But this occasion, I'm gonna do a 2 right here on my hand. Then I'm gonna bring this other ribbon that is super fun, and I'm gonna go ahead and dovetail this ribbon, as you guys can see. Thumbs up if you guys are having fun this holiday season. I'm having so much fun teaching you all of these tricks of the trade, and it's just been so much fun creating all of these looks for you guys. And I really just hope that you are enjoying these videos this holiday season. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and do one loop, twist, and then do another loop right here. And I'm gonna do 3 of these guys right here. Then I'm gonna grab a 3rd ribbon right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this guy right here. And for this particular one, I'm just gonna do a 1 loop just to give it that extra accent of ribbon. I'm gonna cut right here. So now what you need to do is grab your wire like this, and we're gonna wire all of this together, and look how easy it is. Just by really tightly, I cannot stress that enough. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna cut this guy right here. We'll dovetail in a second. And what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go ahead and do this bow right here. Just go all the way in to the swag so it looks intentional. And just swirl that wire into some of your bristles all the way in, pulling your ribbon in so it looks like it grew out of the swag. And look how fun. So now you have a bigger bow right here. You have a small bow right here with all of the ribbons. Go ahead and dovetail all of your ribbons like the ones I didn't finish. Like that. We're gonna go ahead and dovetail this guy here. All right, everyone, so I went ahead and pre-wire some of these really basic red ornament and as well as some green ones, and that's what I'm gonna go ahead and add first. So I'm gonna go and push my ornament all the way to the inside right here, and just by grabbing that wire, swirl that into one of your bristles. It should stay right where you put it. So I'm gonna do a red one up here, and then I'm gonna go ahead and put a green one in here. So it really helps if you grab one of the bristles on the inside. So push that wire through, like I said, and pull it as hard as you can, and then just go ahead and twist that wire into one of your bristles, and the ornament should stay exactly where you put it. Now I'm gonna go ahead and show you another technique, and I do have my hot glue pen over on this side. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab right here and open all of my bows. Just by dipping your ornament into your glue, then it's going to be able to stay exactly where you want it. And I'm gonna use the exact same technique for some of these ornaments that are funner, and I love this polka dot one. So I'm gonna go ahead and just lightly dip into my glue, as you guys can see. Then I'm gonna go ahead and open over on this side, and I'm gonna push that ornament right here, and it's going to stay right where I need it. I have a few of those. I'm gonna get them ready and I'll be right back with you. Stay tuned. I don't know if you guys remember, but one of the elements that we added to our whimsical Christmas tree was this candy cane. So I saved some of them, and what we're going to do is I'm gonna go ahead and add some of these guys into my swag so it is a lot funner looking. And I'm gonna do the exact same thing. So I'm just gonna go ahead and dig into my glue, let it run a little bit down Be careful because this is kind of warm, and I'm gonna go open my swag and I'm gonna go ahead and start installing them like this. I want them to poke out of my swag. So basically what I'm gonna do is just dig into my glue, be generous with it, and go ahead and let it drip down like this. And then I'm gonna go ahead and add one more here to the top, like that. Look how fun that is. I love these little accents because it really makes your swag look more whimsical. So I think we need one coming out of maybe here. I'm gonna add one right here. Let me see. Yeah, I think I'm gonna add one right here. So I'm gonna add some glue to it. You also could use your bristles to attach if you desired. But look how fun that is, just like that. I have a few more that I'm going to add, so I'm gonna cut this one shorter. And I think I'm gonna add one over and put it down here. But for that one, actually, I'm gonna just go ahead and cut this guy off all the way. And then I'm gonna use one of my bristles over on this side to attach this candy cane. So basically, we're just gonna grab two and twist tie this together. Okay, so I have to tell you guys a secret. I was shooting this and my camera totally died. The battery was done and I had to wait. So what I want to explain you real quick is what I did is I grabbed some of these candies that I have that we also put on that whimsical tree. I put some glue on it, I guess I should say, deep into my glue. So I went ahead and put one right here, one right here. So I wanna go ahead and bring one more down here. So I'm gonna go ahead and open up right here and I'm gonna push it in. And that glue should make it stay right where I put it, right by my character. So he looks like he's sitting down on it. And like what I like about that glue is because as you guys can see, it really just stays where you put it, and as it dries, it'll make it stay right there. Okay, so the next step I'm going to do is I'm gonna add some picks, and I like this holly because it's green and it's so pungent, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut it. What I also like about these picks is that you can cut them into 3s, 2s, and 1s. You can use it as a 1, but for this occasion, I'm gonna cut it into 3 so I can continue to add and then go ahead and fluff all of your foliages. As you guys can see, we just make a little pick. So I'm gonna add one over to this side. So I'm gonna dig into my glue and I'm gonna go ahead and let it run down. I'm gonna open up my bristles right here and just put it in there. And look at that. It continues to add. This one comes really flat like this. It comes this curly Q. Go ahead and pull it. Give it a little life. Just dig into your glue. Let it run. And as it runs, it'll cool down. I'm gonna go ahead and put a day one up here. How cute is this looking? All right, so then this one, actually I'm gonna cut into 2 because it's pretty full. So I'm gonna cut into 2. And we have another pick we're gonna add. It's gonna be our last element. All right, open it up, fluff those berries on the very middle. Fluff it, fluff, fluff, fluff. Grab it, dig into your glue. And I really hope you guys are enjoying this particular tutorial. It was so much fun to put together. And fluff your bow right here. Once again, if it has a curly Q, be sure to pull it up to give it a little bit more life. And I'm gonna go ahead and add it down here. Right here. And the last one I have is going to be this fern. Now this comes like this, but I really just want to use the individual ferns to give it even more air. So I'm going to go ahead and take my time to cut some of these ferns. And I think we're probably going to just use 1 or 2 of these because they are, I'll show you in a second, very glittery, very, very pretty. And I like the way this looks. As you guys can see, you can shape it into any shape that you want, giving yourself a little bit of a stem to dig into that glue. Oh, I said it right this time. Then I'm gonna go ahead and start right here on the bottom, like this. Look how fun that is. That is so much fun. Then when you have a stem like this, just go ahead and rip some of this out to give yourself a little bit of a stem. Then dig that into the glue. And now I'm gonna give you another secret. When you have this type of glue, it might run. So when it runs, what you wanna do is grab one of these little forms and just go ahead and put it on top of your glue so it looks intentional. All right, I'm gonna continue adding some of this gorgeous fern. And so basically what you wanna do is you wanna go in and out on your design, giving the fern a little bit of a shape. I'm gonna add one right here, like that. And that's gonna give that air and that extension that we're always looking. That's why I always recommend to add some of these elements towards the end, because it really just gives it that three-dimensional look that we are always looking for. I'm gonna add one right here, as you guys can see, just by adding it. Then you bend a little bit. Look how fun that is. So I'm gonna put one right here coming down, but I ran out, so I'm gonna grab probably the longest one on this stem. How gorgeous is this, you guys? It's gorgeous and fun at the same time. I'm having so much fun showing you all of these tricks, and I really just hope that you are enjoying and learning a little bit of what we do in the floral industry. All right, so at this point, I'm just gonna go ahead and flap all of my bows, put this on the door, and show you what it looks like. Keep watching. All right, you guys, so for this project, what we're going to need is 2 of these Dollar Tree wreath forms. We're gonna need 3 of this tinsel garlands from the dollar store. I bought 3 of them. Then what I'm going to need is one of these snowman forms from the Dollar Tree as well. I'm going to need a few packs of these ornaments that came from the dollar store, and some berries that I had left over from other projects. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually gonna go ahead and start by removing this hanger and tag from the snowman. And then also I'm gonna grab 2 pipe cleaners right here. And what I want to do is I wanna kind of decide where I want my wreath to go. So because the snowman is looking to his left, I'm gonna put him right here. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go ahead and flip it around and decide where my hangers need to be. So I need one right there and one right here. Then what I'm going to do is I'm gonna remove this and put it to the side over here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm gonna staple this guy right here. All right, now that I have my staples and my pipe cleaners to attach it to my wreath, I'm gonna go ahead and put him to the side so we can get going on the wreath. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, remove him from the tag. And I keep on telling you, they put these tags at the dollar store. Dollar Tree people, if you're watching, make sure you don't put this so tightly. All right, so what I'm going to do is, I wanna mention first that I attached 2 of the wreath forms to make it look more like a donut shape. And what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go ahead and start just by attaching right here. This is wire, so all you have to do is do a knot right here and pull. Some of it will come off, but that's fine, because what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to swirl all this around this wreath until we fully cover it. So I think you get the idea. I'm going to go ahead and cover this donut shaped wreath with this tinsel, and I'll be right back with you. All right, everyone, so once that we have all of our wreath covered on this beautiful garland, I love the way this turned out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and bring my snowman back into the picture. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and find a place for him, and then I'm going to go ahead and tie it with the pipe cleaners all the way in the back, and just make sure you do it very tightly. As you guys can see, it's super easy. Just give it 2 or 3 spins and secure it in place. And I could stop at this right now because I think it looks absolutely cute. However, I'm gonna keep going. And what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go ahead and add some of these frosted berries. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my hot glue gun right here. I'm going to stick some glue just to make sure it really sticks. I'm going to go ahead and insert this guy. You have to do it really quick because they really grab onto that material. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the tip of this one right here. And then I'm going to go ahead and add some glue. And just make sure you insert it really quick into your wreath, like that. Then I have some of these really pretty glitter berries. And I'm going to go ahead and do the same. Just add a little bit of glue, give them a little bend, and insert that guy right there. I love the way this is turning out, but I cannot wait to add a little bit of ornaments to it. All right, so I'm going to add that right there. So then I have these Dollar Tree ornaments, and I'm just going to put them right there in the center. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of glue, just a little silver touch. So I'm going to add one right there. I'm going to add one right here. And as you guys can see, it really like gets attached to the tinsel. And I love it. All right, so then I'm going to add one of these ones up here. And I'm going to add this silver one. Just be sure you press a little bit. I'm going to add this cute little silver one in here. And then I have these other ones right here that I got from a past project. So I'm going to go ahead and add this guy. Probably just add it right here. Make sure you press it down so it sticks. And I'm going to add this one right in here. And all of these ornaments came from the dollar store. As you guys can see, this project is under $10 and it is super cute. All we have to do is just give it a try. All right, well, I'm gonna add this last ornament right here. And as you guys can see, this turned out super cute. Actually, you know what? I have one more of these glitter berries. So I'm just gonna grab a little glue. I'm gonna go ahead and insert it right here. Like that. And voila, that is what our snowman tinsel wreath looks like. So I'm gonna put this in the door and show you what it looks like. All right, everyone, so we're gonna start with the smallest lantern we'll be doing today and the easiest perhaps out of all of them, but I just wanna show you how easy it really is to fix a lantern for the holidays. Now I got this lantern at a local store called Nail Hills, and this is not sponsored, but I'm gonna leave their number down below in case you guys wanna get a hold of it. I don't know if they still have it or not, but that's where I got mine. I got a set of 3, and this will be perfect for a tablescape. Let me just show you how easy it really is to put it together. Now these are the picks that came from the dollar store, and you guys have seen this before because I did a little wreath on the video where I did 3 wreaths. So if you have not seen the video with the 3 wreaths, it really is something. They come with all these ornaments and cedars and pines and berries, but what you need to do is go ahead and touch every little branch and just give them a little life. Once you have done that, what you need to do is also do a little curve like this because we want to sit right here. So to attach, we need to do a little curve like this. And then you're going to attach both of them like this. I was about to say like so. And then attach these guys with a pipe cleaner. All right. Just make sure that it's really tight. Once you've done that, go ahead and cut your excess like that. And then I already pre-made a tiny little bow that I think it's very proportionate to the size of my lantern. And let me see, we have a little drawer that it opens. So we're gonna go ahead and open that to make sure that we know that's the front. So then what I'll do is I'm gonna go ahead Actually, I think I'm gonna attach another pipe cleaner to this because I don't think it'll be long enough. And the way you can do that is you just basically attach 2 of these pipe cleaners like this, and then you go ahead, and that way you just make yourself a longer one. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and attach the bow to our little swag. And just give it a spin on the back so it stays together. As you guys can see, this is super easy and simple. Then what you need to do is you want to go ahead and place that like so, and just basically attach it right here to the top. So cute, super simple, full of ornaments, cedars. And then what I've done for this one, I have these battery operated candles that also came from Nail Hills, and they have a remote. So you basically just go ahead and click it on, and you have yourself a beautiful lantern for the holidays. Super easy and affordable. All right, you guys, so for this idea is going to be the lantern idea, and this is gonna match our little lantern that we did on our lantern video. So we're gonna use a lantern and a little candle. We're gonna use a green wreath that came from Hobby Lobby, and might as well just take that pesky tag off. We're also going to use 4 of these Dollar Tree picks with all of the berries and the ornaments. You guys know how in love I am with this, guys, so we're gonna use 4 of those. We're going to use some clusters of ornaments in red and green, some really big ones because I really want to make a really big statement piece on the top. So we're gonna use some of these big ones, and I'll show you how do we do those. And then we're gonna use this ribbon that says Merry Christmas, ho ho ho, and it's a burlap ribbon for the dollar store. We're also gonna use some pipe cleaners in red to attach our items. So let's get started. The very first thing I really implore you to do when you're doing one of these wreaths is grab your wreath and go ahead and give it a fluff. All you have to do is pull these bristles up, because when they pack them really flat as a pancake, and you do not want to see that on anyone's door. Pancakes are good on the plate for breakfast, sometimes dinner for breakfast, however, not good on your door. So all you have to do is basically just pull, and when you're pulling these bristles, just make sure you do them all on the same direction, and just go ahead and rotate while you do that. That way you give it the maximum coverage, and it'll just fluff up so pretty and it will look more natural. So all you have to do is touch some of those bristles, not even all of them, but I mean, if you're gonna take the time to do them all, that's fine. So this is what the wreath looks like, a little fluffed out. What also you can do is just grab your hand and then do this number right here. We used to flap hundreds of wreaths at the store where I worked. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and put this guy right here, right? And then what I wanna do is I'm gonna make a bow. So I'm gonna just drop this on the floor, and I'm gonna give it just a little tail, because we're gonna go ahead and use a focal point on it. And if you guys haven't seen the video, how I make bows, 3 styles of bows, I'm going to link it up so you guys can watch that as well once you're done with this video. As I told you before, I'm sorry about the music. Back then I did not know how to edit a video, so I'm really sorry that it's super loud and annoying. But so we're gonna use all of the ribbon that comes on this little spool. And these also don't have to be perfect. Keep in mind that to be beautiful does not have to be perfect. And I always tell people, Mother Nature does not create perfection, so don't look for it anywhere in your decor. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and just attach this with my pipe cleaner. I just go through the bow and I pull back. It's super easy and simple. All right, I'm gonna pull real quick. I'm gonna twist. And then I'm gonna put this sweet little bow right here, and I'm just gonna go ahead and attach it to my bristles. Or actually, I'm gonna go back. Just attach it. It's a sweet little touch, but I'll show you in a second how we're gonna make this bow stand out even better, all right? So then I have 2 strips of this same ribbon, and what I'm going to do is I'm gonna fold them in half, right, like this, and then I'm gonna pinch, and then I'm gonna attach right here, and I'm gonna go ahead and just twist with my bristles. And what you wanna do is just create some loops to kind of elongate that bow shape all the way down, like this. You wanna go ahead and loop it like this, and just attach it. Give it a thumbs up if you guys are enjoying this series. And then also, please leave me a comment down below and let me know if you're enjoying the multiple project on each video. Now I'm gonna go ahead and spin to my like this so I can see what I'm doing. So I'm basically just pinch right here, with some of those bristles. Now we're gonna cover some of these with ornaments. So once again, it does not have to be perfect. Don't look for perfection because perfection does not exist in Mother Nature. So why are we gonna force it? That's my point. All right, so far so good. I'm gonna go ahead and attach here too. Then the next step is I'm gonna add these dollar store picks. Once again, you guys get rid of those tags, and then also take a minute to touch every single branch and fluff them out. Everything that has a little wire, make sure that you pull that wire forward, backwards. So then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give them a little bend like this, pull those ornaments forward, and I'm gonna go ahead and insert one right here, and with my own bristles, I'm gonna go ahead and secure this, like that. You wanna do it in a few places. Look how pretty that is. Just one pick of greenery with ornaments, and look what it does to this wreath. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and add another one right here. Once again, just using my bristles. And I have 4, so I'm gonna do 2 on each side. But you wanna give them a little space because we're gonna add some ornaments to it too. So just go ahead and add this like this. And then we're gonna go ahead and add this one over here. Just with the bristles, you just twist that bristle into one of the ornaments or into the pick, and look, it'll stay. You could stop right here if you wanted to, but because we're Ramon at home, this is my show, so I always like to do more is more. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go ahead and attach the lantern, and this one has a sweet little door that you wanna make sure that it's forward so you can get to that candle. So I'm gonna go ahead and attach this guy right here with my bristles for the wreath. I'm gonna go ahead and pull those bristles through my holder, pull it as far back as I can and as tight as I can. So that's gonna help my lantern stay in place. And when I wanna turn my candle on, I can just go ahead and do that. Like that, I can leave it open if it's for indoors, or I can close it. These candles come on a timer and they just look so cute. So I'm gonna leave it on for now. Then the next thing I wanna do is I'm gonna create some clusters, and I have created this one right here. So basically I also have a video on this if you wanna watch the whole tutorial on it. But what you do is you grab an ornament in a medium size, then you grab a large one right here, and then you grab a small one right here, and you just put them on this pipe cleaner, and it gives you this cluster of ornaments. Then what you wanna do is I'm gonna put this one right here, so I'm gonna pull back with my pipe cleaner. I'm gonna make sure that I secure it. I'm gonna come all the way down like this, and that just gives it a more Christmas look. And then I have this massive one that I want up here, because I want right here, I like to work with sets of 2s, 3s, and 1s. So I have 2 and I have 1. And I'm just gonna go ahead and add this guy right up here on the top, making sure that all of my ornaments show. And I'm just gonna go ahead and attach this with this pipe cleaner. You basically just attach it to one of the bristles, make sure that you twist it really good, and it'll stay there till you cut it, you guys. That's the beauty of working with wire. And then you just basically secure them. You can swirl around one of those bristles to secure in place. Make sure that all of your ornaments show like this, and voila, you have yourself another beautiful wreath. Thumbs up if you like it, and let me show you what it looks like on the door. All right, you guys, so for today's quick tip, I just want to show you how to spruce up this really cute reindeer neck. So what we're going to do is I'm going to grab this garland, and any garland will do, but I do like this one because it's a little bit snowed. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wrap this around his neck. No rhyme or reason. I just want him to look like he just went to the forest and got tangled up in some of this really pretty garland. So once you attach it, what you do need to make sure is that you fluff it a little bit. So if there's any flyaways, make sure that they fly away, and let it also sweep up and down. You want to make sure that it really looks intentional. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and grab this piece of ribbon right here. And before I attach it, it's going to be his scarf. I'm going to hang down some tails. All right, so I'm going to go make sure that I put it right here. It's kind of like a scarf, but it's really not. It's going to be a bow. Then I'm going to go ahead and tie that real quick. So I'm going to have 3 bows right here. Then I have pre-made a bow already, and I'm going to go ahead and use it. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull one of my tails through here, and I'm going to go ahead and attach this guy now. The ends are already dovetailed. I went ahead and did that to save some time, but you know, if I come to your house and your dovetails are not, I'm going to ask you for a pair of scissors. So I'm going to go ahead and just fluff all of these tails, and look how cute this is. Really simple, really quick. And the only other thing I'm going to add is going to be some of these pine cones, and it's going to be a focal point. So I'm going to add 3. You know that if you've been watching this channel, you know I like to add sets of 2s, 3s, and 1s. So I'm going to go ahead and add one right here, making sure that my reindeer doesn't fall. Then I'm going to go ahead and attach another one over to the top. I want it to be a cluster, so they have to be together, of course. So just make sure that you swirl that wire right there. See, I'm telling you, it wants to fall off. And then I'm going to go ahead and attach the last one, which is going to be right here, right next to them. So this one I'm just going to swirl with this one right here to make it cluster together by hiding this wire. Then you want to go ahead and fluff all of these pretty bows like this. Make sure all of your dovetails show. And look at that. Really quick, really simple, very striking. What do you guys think? All right, you guys, so the very first thing we're going to do on this tree is going to be the ribbon. And like I mentioned to you before, we have this gorgeous rose gold, this mica flake is absolutely stunning. And then I'm also gonna use some really basic silver and gold that I found at my local craft store. But these are gonna be the stars of the show. And for this video, I wanna show you some different techniques. So as usual, I'm just gonna go ahead and drop this on the floor, and I'm gonna start by dovetailing my very end of my ribbon, so that way it is finished. And on this video, I wanna show you a very different technique. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna pinch right here and give me a little tail. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a loop, and then I'm gonna pinch right here like this, and you have to pinch really, really hard right here. Then what you wanna do is you wanna twist so the pretty side is up, and you fold it. You want to make sure that you have 2 loops about the same size, right? So, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a wire that I have already pre-cut, and I'm going to go ahead and just really tightly hold with my wire right here, so that way I have this pretty loop. And then with the wire that I attach, I'm going to go ahead and put it right here on my vase, and then just go all the way down to the vase right here. And with your wire, just go ahead and attach. So we have this bow right here. So then what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go ahead and grab my really pretty ribbon, the one with the mica flake, and I'm gonna go ahead and the exact same thing. So basically just fold like this, go ahead and dovetail. I feel so bad about cutting this ribbon because it's so pretty. But then I'm gonna go ahead and give me myself a little dovetail. I'm gonna pinch really, really hard right here, and I'm gonna make a bow twist so your bow is pretty. And on that one I did a 2 loop, and on this one I'm gonna do a 3 loop. So just twist and go ahead and give yourself yet another loop. So we're gonna have a trio right here. So I'm gonna grab a wire. This is a different technique, like I said. I just wanted to show you something different on this video because we've been doing the same thing, I feel like, all the time. So why not show you some of the tricks of the trade that I learned working as a florist. All right, so what I'm going to do, I have my trio right here. Just go ahead and give him this little flap, and I'm gonna go ahead and attach on the exact same spot right here with my wires. And that's why you wanna use a wire, so that way you can go ahead and attach. And as you guys can see, at the same time you're building the topper, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and leave it right there. So now I'm gonna grab the gold, and this is very inexpensive. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go ahead and do my dovetail. And for this particular one, I'm gonna go ahead and do a 4 loop so we can start filling in the gaps of our topper. Now, because it is the least expensive one, we're gonna go ahead and take advantage of that, and I'm just gonna go ahead and do a 4 loop, and then I'm gonna grab one of my wires right here and just go ahead and wire this guy together like this. And you're gonna go ahead, and I'm gonna go over to this side so we start filling in right here on this side. So I'm gonna go ahead and attach with my wire right here. Just make sure that you do attach it because you don't want your bows crashing down. All right, like that, and you can start fluffing all of those bows. Look how pretty that's starting to look. But we have one last ribbon, so we're gonna go ahead and use this silver one. So I'm gonna go ahead and drop it on the floor and do the exact same thing. And like I told you, this is the least expensive ribbon. So what we're going to do now is we're gonna go ahead and do a 5 loop. This is up to you how many loops you wanna do, but you wanna, like I said, use less loops with the pretty ribbons, and then with your least expensive ribbons, you can just go ahead and go as wild as you want. Make as big as a bow as you want. So there's 4, so I'm gonna go ahead and twist one more. And even though there's no print, it is just good if you get used to twisting your bows. And I am super excited about this look because you guys know I love me a really good glam look. And if you have not seen that wreath that we did that is going to be really similar to this, I really recommend it. I'm gonna put it down in the description box below, which it was inspired by the Glam Christmas tree from last year. All right, so once I fluffed all of these loops, I'm gonna go ahead and grab my wires, and there's the hole right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my bow right here and just make sure that I attach with my wire over on the back. Twist those wires together, and look at that. Now you have a really pretty bow right here. You have all of your ribbons going down. Flap this guy right here. And so now the fun part starts. I'm gonna go ahead and make sure that I put this gold ribbon over to this side because that's where it belongs. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab my really pretty rose gold ombre ribbon. I'm gonna pinch right here, and I'm gonna go all the way on the tree. Then I'm gonna twist right there to make sure that you secure it. And then I wanna actually zigzag it to my left. So I'm gonna go ahead and give it another one right here. Pretty big loop. Then I'm gonna go as far as I can on the tree, and then I'm gonna go ahead and attach with the bristles like that. And so now I'm gonna move forward over to this side, and I'm gonna go ahead and pinch right here. And I'm gonna go as far as I can. I'm gonna grab my bristles, and I'm just gonna go ahead and attach. And then I'm gonna do one more coming all the way down to here. I'm gonna pinch, I'm gonna grab my bristles, and then I'm going to attach. And as you guys can see, we started on this side, but we actually ended on this side by doing these loops. And what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab this silver right here, and I'm gonna go ahead and do the same. So I'm sorry if I gave you my back, but I'm just trying to do it right so you guys can actually see how I do this technique. So I went ahead and did one right here. I'm gonna have to cross over to this side. And then I'm gonna go ahead and do yet another loop, a big one right here. And what you need to do is you really need to go as far as you can into the tree, and just don't do it too tight. That way you can pull if you need a little bit of ribbon. Then you're gonna do the exact same thing right here. And then we're gonna go ahead and grab some of these bristles and tie it. And then we're gonna go ahead and do one more and just go ahead and attach it right there all the way to the bottom. With this particular one, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go ahead and give it a big loop like this. And then I'm gonna go ahead and attach right here. Just give it that big of a loop. I'm gonna go down one right here. And then I'm gonna start moving over to this side right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go ahead and give it a big loop. And I'm actually going to go ahead and meet it with the silver one right here. So using the exact same bristles, so that way it looks like they came from the same side. Then I'm gonna go ahead and give it a big loop, and I'm gonna keep moving to my left. This is a really fun technique, and it is a ribbon technique that if you have a bigger tree and not a lot of ornaments, you can use a lot of your ribbons and you can save yourself some money with the ornaments because it's all about the ribbon. All right, so now I have this really pretty, my favorite. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go ahead and do one loop right here. And then just go ahead and make sure that that one shows because it's the prettiest ribbon on our tree. Then I'm gonna start going over to this side right here. And as you guys can see how these two crisscross and how beautiful it looks, this is the whole point of this. Make sure you have your really pretty ribbon showing like this. Go ahead and grab it right here. I'm gonna go ahead and meet right here with this gold ribbon mitt, this silver one. Then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and cut all of my ribbons. So be sure you dovetail by going opposite like this. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this guy like this, and this pretty one as well. Now the fun part is going to be the next step, which I'm really excited for you guys to see. I have one more ribbon to cut. So I'm gonna cut this ribbon. I'm gonna get all my ribbons back ready to be used, and I'll be right back. Stay tuned. All right, you guys, so here is a tip I have to give you is when you're doing this technique, what you need to do is just step away from your tree for a little bit and look at it and see where you need to do. So I already went ahead and did that. So I'm gonna go ahead and start by doing yet another one of my bow. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a three loop bow for this particular one, and it is made out of a silk material. It is such a pretty and fun fabric, and I cannot recommend it. It is really good quality and it has this ombre effect. But we know my favorite is this one because look how gorgeous the sparkles are. It's so pretty. All right, so I have a 3 loop. I'm gonna go ahead and grab one of my wires, and I'm gonna go ahead and secure it very tightly right here. And then what I'm gonna show you is that I'm gonna go ahead and fluff this bow, and then I'm gonna go ahead and put it right here. So I'm gonna attach it to the tree right here. And all you have to do is swirl that rivet or that wire into your tree, and look at that. So then what you need to do is you need to start doing your loops. So I'm gonna do one right here. Then I'm gonna do yet another one going down right here. And that gives you a bow, which is a focal point, and it just weaves in with all the other ribbons. So now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go ahead the exact same thing, but I'm gonna do one with this right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dovetail my ribbon like this. Then I'm gonna do a 3 loop bow. A 3 loop bow is more of a showstopper than a 2 loop bow. So that's why I like to, as I move down, I like to move on to like bigger and better bows because they show better on your tree, right? So I'm gonna do a 2, you could do a 4, but we're gonna save some ribbon by just doing 3. And I'm gonna go ahead and do a 3rd one right here. Then I'm gonna go ahead and grab my wire. Now these wires I pre-cut myself. They come on a bolt. You can find this in any craft store, but just by going ahead and pre-cutting all of your wires, then you will save yourself a lot of time. All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead and look how pretty this is. You just have to fluff your bow like this. Look how gorgeous this is. I'm not just saying that. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and add this guy right here. And I'm gonna go ahead and attach it to one of my bristles just by swirling around like that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go ahead and grab my ribbon and loop right here. And then I'm gonna go ahead and move forward to this side, just like this. Look how gorgeous this is looking. I'm so excited. And this one we're just gonna go ahead and dovetail right here. We're gonna give it a small shape like this. And then you just go ahead and crinkle your ribbon like this. And you know what? I feel like we could use another one right here going down. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that because this is the most beautiful ribbon we have. We're gonna make sure that we use all of it. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and tie this really tight. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead, after I flap, I'm gonna go ahead and go as far in as I can right here. Then just wrap my wire, and then I'm gonna go ahead and go down following this direction. So I'm gonna cross you over to this side, and look at this, how beautiful. Just go ahead and dovetail like this, and go ahead and pinch right here. Go as far in as you can on the tree, so that way it looks intentional, like this. And then I'm gonna go ahead and do one more all the way to the bottom, right here, with these two meet. So far, so good. Let me dovetail these two because I don't want somebody already called me out once and they say, you didn't dovetail your ribbons. When I'm making these videos, sometimes I'm just doing things and I forget to really do the things that I told you guys you should do. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go ahead and do a silver here going this way, and then a gold right here going this way. I'm going to do that real quick and I'll be right back with you, okay? Stay tuned. All right, you guys, so we're almost done with our ribbon, and how beautiful is this looking? I also love it, but I do feel like we need one right here, and I'm gonna go ahead and do this really pretty silk ombre one. So just once again, just go ahead and do one bow. If I can do this, so can you. So don't be afraid to just use your pretty ribbons. You know, I used to be so afraid of cutting my beautiful ribbons that I used to literally hide the bolt inside of the tree. It's so embarrassing. But don't be afraid to cut it, because if it doesn't work for another purpose right now, it'll work for another next year. You know, like I said, we're gonna do so many projects with the exact same product, and I really do encourage you to go ahead and invest in beautiful ribbon, and then just when at the end of the season, go ahead and save it, and then that way you can use it next year for a different purpose. So I have my 3-loop bow right here, so I'm gonna go ahead as far as I can on the tree right here. I'm gonna swirl it on one of my bristles, and look how pretty that is right there. Just go ahead and fluff, and then I'm gonna go ahead and bring the pretty side up, and then I'm gonna go ahead and, somebody already called me out too for saying I'm gonna go ahead, so I don't know what else to say other than I am gonna go ahead and do this right here. Let me get my scissors, but it's part of the gig. All right, so that is going to be our last bow, and look how pretty this is. This reminds me of Marie Antoinette. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. All right, so because the tree now is so full with ribbons, you guys, this is gonna be the easiest Christmas tree you ever put together. And I have pre-wired all of my ornaments. I'm gonna probably disappear here for a second. So I'm gonna grab all of my gold ones first. And I only have 4 because I'm just gonna go ahead and use these gold ones to fill in on bigger spots, like right here. You go ahead and just grab that wire. Like I said, if you pre-wired that ornament, look, it stays exactly where you want. And remember, what happens on the left has to happen right here on the right. And then also, because you only have a certain amount of it, you have to make sure that you have all the way up to the tree. And this is going to fill it in right now so beautifully. And as you can see, you will not need very many ornaments, because your ribbons are doing all of the work with this particular tree. But look how gorgeous that is. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and grab my ornament that is pre-wired like this, and I'm gonna start right here. And then how easy it is just with one hand. Look at that. You don't even need both hands. So I'm gonna start right there. Then I'm gonna move over to this side. And I really recommend that when you are doing a Christmas tree, just go ahead and go from one side to the next. That way your tree is balanced. Look how pretty that is. Just bring your ribbons forward. So I'm gonna cross you over to this side now. Let's see, I feel like we need one right here. Like that, and you can just pull your ribbon forward. Let's see, we need some towards the bottom. Always don't forget to the bottom, because, you know, I was looking at my last Christmas tree. I decorated the one for the kids with the elf. If you have not seen it, it's linked down below. But I feel like there was no ornaments towards the bottom, you guys. We have to not forget about our ornaments on the bottom, because you don't want your tree to look bare. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and add this one right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and install it, and then just go ahead and swirl it like that. And then fluff your ribbons. And I have one last one, so I'm gonna bring it over to the bottom right here. Now here is my favorite one that they sent us, and it is this beautiful pine cone that it looks like mercury glass, but it's actually shatterproof full mercury glass. And I have 3 small ones, and I left one with a string because I showed you on the last Christmas tree the trick that you can just grab your stem right here. I'm gonna put these 2 down actually so you can see. So you grab your stem right here, you put your string, and then you swirl that string until it is where you want it to be. I particularly just rather take the time and then wire mine. So I'm gonna go ahead and put one right here on the top. Look how easy it is, just 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, I'm gonna go ahead and do one probably over here, like this, right in the middle of my bow. Fluff that bow. And then I'm gonna go ahead and do the larger ones. So I'm gonna go ahead and do one right here. Just swirl that, let it show like this. And then I'm gonna go and put this one, let's see, right here. Thumbs up if you like this idea. I love the color palette. I think it is absolutely gorgeous. I'm gonna go ahead and put this one right here on the bottom. Okay, so I have 2 styles of the 4-day scent. So I'm gonna go ahead and add this really pretty brush pine, and then also the absolutely stunning that I am so in love with, the one with the jewels. We're gonna have to cut this because they're super long, but I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to add this stem. So the glitter stops right here. There's no glitter over this way. So that's where I want you to bend down, and that's what's gonna be inserted into the tree. So all of this is what I call your money maker, and that's what you have to let out of the tree. So as you can see, it just extends your tree all the way out, and all you have to do is bend where the glitter stops a bit. I did not know that a few years ago, so I'm so glad that I learned that. I hope it comes in handy to you. And don't forget to fluff every single wire that comes on your tree. So I'm gonna go ahead and add one right here. Step ladder motion going down, remember? So I'm gonna go ahead and bend right here where the glitter ends. Go ahead and fluff all of my stems. I'm gonna go ahead and add this right here. And look at that. Oh my gosh, it's just so pretty. Now you wanna make sure that you leave space for the other one. So I'm gonna go ahead and do probably 5. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring one right here. You know, I just noticed that I do say go ahead a lot. I'm gonna try and stop and not say that, so, but I'm not promising anything. So I'm gonna put one right here coming out of the side, and if you want them to be really secure, just go ahead and grab that stem and twist it around. Let's see where else. I'm gonna put one on the top, coming out of the top like this. Let me see. Make sure it doesn't go over on the side like that. And I have one more I'm gonna put on this side. Yeah, it needs one on this side. Right here. So just grab your bristle and twist it around the stem, and it'll stay right there. So now we have my favorite one, which is absolutely stunning, but I do need to cut about 5 inches. But the good thing is that they give you the option that you can cut it yourself. And I'm gonna go ahead and put all of this gorgeousness right here. I'm gonna grab this and twist it right here to secure it. And look at that. Oh my gosh. That is absolutely stunning. I will give you a close-up here in a second. So I'm gonna go ahead and come on this side, put one on the bottom right here, twist it like that. Look, look, look. So gorgeous. I have a few more and we'll be done. I cannot wait to read your comments. So please leave me a comment down below and let me know what do you think about this particular theme I am having so much fun. Let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is I'm gonna pick up my garland and I'm going to go ahead and free it from this packaging that comes with it. So it comes with this tiny little zip tie. So we're just gonna go ahead and free it from it. And then the very first thing you need to do is going to go ahead and lay it on your mantle. It is a 9-foot garland, you guys. It's a lot of product for under $20, and it comes with so many berries and pines. And like I told you the other day, the very first thing you need to do is fluff these guys as much as you can, because look how much fuller it really looks. And I just love the flocking on it. It's super full. It comes with these cute little ornaments. And look, if you just give yourself a little bit of time and give it a little fluffing, look how much product you're going to get. Now it comes with this bow that I'm not really a fan of, but we're going to cut it out. So we'll get to it in a second, because we're gonna replace it with our own very ribbons. So go ahead and give your garland a big fluff so it shows. At this point, what I like to do is I like to go ahead and bend right here so it stays in place, like that. Just fluff, fluff, grab every single branch. These ornaments come on a wire. Just make sure you make them stand forward. The berries, just go ahead and show them. Spill some of them forward. This is the fun part, just fluffing your garland. And go ahead and make sure that they spill forward as well as backwards. And these bristles we're also going to need to attach our ribbon. So we're gonna take off this ugly ribbon that it comes with. We're just gonna go ahead and basically rip it off. It comes with these tiny little plastic ties, and it's super easy to just take it out. As you guys can see, I'm gonna go ahead and drop that on the floor. So once we have our garland sitting like this and all fluffed out, I'm gonna go ahead and press right here also so it stays secure like this. The very next thing I want to do is I'm gonna go ahead and put my lights on. So I'm gonna go ahead and take my 100 lights. I'm gonna go ahead and drop that on the floor. I make sure that my connection is over there, so I'm gonna start on this side so I end on the side where the connection is. That is a good tip I can give you. Always start the opposite side from where your plug-in is. But before I start threading our lights on it, I like to make sure that I plug it in and make sure that all of our lights are working, because there's nothing worse than finishing your garland or your tree and finding out that your lights, well, they don't work. So I'm gonna start right here on the bottom, and just how I show you when I did my mom's staircase, which by the way, if you not have seen that video where I decorated my mom's staircase, you have got to go check it out. I really thought it turned out beautiful. So I'm gonna put a link right now so you guys can check it out if you haven't seen it. So what I do is I just lightly and very loosely zigzag my lights into the garland, because if you pull tight, you're basically hiding your lights and you want them to show very well. So you wanna go ahead and just zigzag all the way back, all the way forward. And you have 100 lights, and 100 lights, it's basically perfect for 9 feet of garland. So this is a 9-footer. This is going to be great. I love these ornaments these garlands come with. They're just so pretty. So basically just very lightly and loosely zigzag your lights in and out, probably about every 4 inches, like this. I remember when I worked at this place where we decorated people's houses for Christmas, my favorite thing was to do the lights, because I just think it's what brings the magic of Christmas into the people's homes. So very loosely, as you guys can see, it took me just 100 light exactly for my 9-foot garland. I'm just gonna go ahead and tie this right here so it stays. So pretty so far, but this is where the fun starts, you guys. So now, the very first thing I'm gonna add is this black and white Jingle Bell ribbon, because my focal point has a black and white scripture on it. So I'm gonna go ahead and drop my ribbon on the floor, and I'm gonna start right here on the bottom, and just with the same bristles, I'm just gonna go ahead and attach. And then what you wanna do is you wanna go ahead and give it a loop, probably about a 6-inch loop. And I just cannot wait to read your comments on these designs. And if you're not into the snowman theme, just keep in mind the farmhouse, glam, and traditional are all gonna be done on a fireplace, so stay tuned. So very loosely, I don't want it to be perfect. As you guys know, I don't like perfection because I was taught, you know, that perfection doesn't exist in nature, so why do we try to achieve it on home decorating? So I'm gonna go ahead and just loosely do it like that, going in and out. I want it to really just spill forward and backwards. I'm gonna go ahead and attach it right here. And then I'm gonna go ahead and go back, pull back. Always when you're doing ribbon on your garland, make sure that you go in and out. Zigzag, just like how we did with the lights. I'm gonna go ahead and put it right here, give it a little poof, and this ribbon should be able to just stay with the garland, because if you pull it all the way in and then pull out, you don't need to be really attaching it with anything else but your garland. So there you go. One spool of ribbon was really good enough for the whole garland. Then what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go in with a touch of this beautiful ribbon that we used on our lantern and also in our wreath. If you guys have not seen those videos that match this particular theme, if you're new to the channel, I'm also gonna link them up down below so you guys can check it out. A beautiful matching wreath and a beautiful lantern. So what I'm going to do is I just want this to be a little touch up here. So I'm not gonna go all the way down. So I'm just gonna go ahead and attach right here. It's just basically to tie the whole look together. So I'm gonna go ahead and do just a few loops up on the top, like this, and like this. And make sure the pretty side is what shows. So we want that combination of ribbons like this, all right? Just on the top. Then I'm gonna go in with the beautiful sparkly red ribbon from Dollar Tree, and also just on the top. Actually, I'm gonna do right here in the corner. I'm gonna start attaching right here in the corner. And I just want this little red to show just a little peekaboo of it, because it will give it that sparkle. Keep in mind that we're gonna load this with ornaments. I'm gonna let it just hang right here. And then I'm gonna grab another piece and I'm gonna start from the other side. And like I said, I just want it to be in the corners, like so. Here we go with the lights, so, I know I'm gonna hear about it later. All right, just like that. So basically just in the corners. And I have a tiny little piece right here, so I'm gonna save it for later. All right, so this is when our little garland from last year, you guys, if you have not seen the video, first of all, thumbs up if you guys seen the video where I show you how to make this beautiful garland. These garlands retail on the market for like 50 some dollars. We basically made it for like less than $10. So I'm gonna go ahead and just lay this guy up here on the top to give us some ornaments. And I'm gonna go ahead and just attach it. You can make it as long as you want, if you can do a whole tree with it. Right here, I'm just gonna use it as a touch of ornaments. And remember, we always go back at the end and fluff everything that we've done. So we first want to secure it, and then we'll fluff it, all right? So I'm gonna go ahead and put this guy right here, fluff it, and then you just wanna make sure that your ribbons show, but we'll do all of that at the end. All right, so the next step is to go ahead and put some of these big clusters of ornaments. And if you guys haven't seen the video where I show you how to make them, also down below you can find it. But we're basically just clustering these big ornaments. I'm making these big clusters. These ones have 5 in medium, small, and large. So I'm gonna do one right here in the corner. And with your pipe cleaner, you basically just swirl it around. Then I'm gonna go ahead and grab yet another one. Make sure that you always get rid of these pesky tags. And then you're gonna go ahead and put it right here. And look how much that really fills in. I love working with these clusters. And just so you know, I have a Christmas tree coming up with this particular theme, and I cannot wait to show you guys the Christmas tree. It's so beautiful. And then also we have the rest of my mom's house coming for Christmas. We have entryways. Oh, we have so much going on, you guys. And I'm so excited to be able to show you. All right, so I'm gonna do probably right about here. I'm gonna go ahead and bring one of those bristles and attach like this. Make sure that you pull some of that ribbon so it shows. But we'll be back to it in a second. So we're gonna go do one more. Oh, my ornament's escaping. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this guy right here. And then I'm gonna drive this pipe cleaner through, pull down, and it just creates this cluster. And I'm gonna go ahead and do it right here. Like so. Now at this point, you wanna make sure you pull some of your ribbon forward, all of them, so they show, like, especially the black and white one, because it is like our focal ribbon. So make sure that you flap it like this. Now I'm gonna go in and dovetail all of my ends, because I like it better. And I like it when they fall forward like that. Look what I'm gonna do right here. There's a swag right here, but what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go ahead and cut and create tails, because that just gives it so much texture if you just pull it forward like that. And I'm gonna cut right here, and I'm gonna do the same to this guy right here. It's just creating something unexpected, you know, like most people expect to see like the typical garland. Well, this is not your typical garland, right? And I have one more cluster that I'm gonna put right here. Now you can make these clusters of 2s, 3s, 5s, 7s, as many as you like. We're gonna pull this ribbon up so it shows like that. All right, so I also love the way this looks. It is so full of ornaments, so full of ribbon. And then I bought this guy right here. I'm gonna stand it up, which was our main source of inspiration. And he is this snowman dad with his little child. And then I have these little stands that I'm gonna put right behind my design. I have 2 of them. You could also do candlesticks to hold our other elements up. Make sure that it's centered. So probably around here. Then our snowman is gonna go right here. And if you guys remember the snowman that I used on our lanterns, well, I went out and bought another one for this design. Just make sure you take that pesky tag off. And we're gonna go ahead and place him right here. So it's like a family of snowmen. And here's our other one. I'm gonna go ahead and put him right here. And what really is going to set off this design is going to be the bow that I show you guys how to make for our lantern. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna bring him down so I can attach it. So I want to be right here on the corner. So I'm gonna drive, already pre-drill a hole right here on the back. I'm gonna drive this right here. I'm gonna pull really forward and I'm just gonna swirl it around. So our bow stays right here. Look, you guys, and just like this, you have, make sure you fluff that bow, a beautifully designed fireplace on the snowman theme. What do you guys think? All right, everyone, so for our snowman wreath, we're gonna need a focal point, which should all be our snowman. We're also going to need various ribbons like the red glittery one, the lime green, and also we're going to use a beautiful bow. And I went ahead and made this bow to match our lantern. If you guys haven't seen the matching lantern to this, I'm gonna link up the lantern video so you can check it out. But we're gonna need a little bow made out of the same ribbons. We're also going to need a few picks of snowy branches, as well as this one and this beautiful pine one that I absolutely love. So we're gonna need 4 of those. We're gonna use our wires, our wire cutters. We're gonna use our scissors and some pipe cleaners to attach our focal point. So let's get started. The very first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a beautiful focal point up here on the top. And I always like to give these guys a little bend like this. So I'm just gonna go ahead and insert this through the grapevine right here. And it's super easy because working with these grapevines really make the job much easier. So I'm just literally just gonna go ahead and follow the wreath form, and you literally just poke through there and just push like this. I'm not gonna say like so. And then, which by the way, thank you guys so much for the support and the like so. It's just, I cannot help it. I'm just working and I cannot help but to go like so, like so, like so. All right, so we're gonna insert this guy right here to create a longer shape. And then we're gonna go ahead and give him a little fluff. These picks were found at Hobby Lobby and they have them at 50% off already. So then you're gonna go ahead and insert this. Just make sure you keep pushing like so. All right, so once you have it that way, what you wanna do is you wanna grab one of your zip ties, and then you wanna zip tie all of this together very tight, just so they stay in place. In case you put it outside, then you don't have to worry about the wind blowing it and things. So, all right, so I'm gonna put that right there, and then I'm gonna go ahead and attach my bow. And to do that, I'm gonna grab a pipe cleaner, and I'm gonna go ahead and swirl them around. When you have a short pipe cleaner, you can just go ahead and swirl 2 of them around, and it gives you a longer pipe cleaner to attach. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this bow right here. I'm gonna take it down from the form. And this stand, if you're wondering, is just an easel that you can find at any florist. So I'm gonna go ahead and attach this with my pipe cleaners like this, right? And then you have your focal point. And actually you could just stop right here. This is really pretty, like this. You can just leave it like that. But because I wanted to match with my snowman lantern, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab 3 silver pipe cleaners, and I'm gonna make a long one. So I'm gonna go ahead and just swirl them around like so, or like this. So we're gonna make a really long one because it's gonna have to go around the little snowman's fat little waist. All right, so here's one. You could use any type of wire, but I just decided the silver would go best with this theme. You could also do a white one. I don't have a white one. White one would be ideal, but I don't have a white one. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a really long one. Then what I'm going to do is I'm gonna attach my snowman right here at the waist, and I wanna make sure that I have equals on each side. Just pull really tight, make sure his scarf is loose. Pull as tight as you can, and then go ahead and swirl him. And that's gonna give you something to attach to the wreath. And I'm gonna go ahead and do the same, going the other way. When I worked as a florist and we did all these Christmas decorations to sell, it was my favorite thing to come up with ideas to use these items, you know, because you usually buy them to set them somewhere on top of a bookcase, but it's also fun to create focal points like this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna push my ribbons, which we'll get to in a minute, but I'm gonna go ahead and sit this guy right here, and then using my pipe cleaners, I'm just gonna go ahead and attach to the form. And you want to make sure that you could use an extra set of hands right now, but just so you know, I'm gonna get it done all by myself because there's nobody here to help. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and attach, and by pulling these really tight on the other side, it really will balance him off, and just have to make sure that you pull really tight and he stays in place. And then you can go back and finesse if you have to. And look, he'll stay there, he won't go anywhere. And then with my extra tails of ribbon, what I'm going to do is I'm just gonna crinkle them up like this and give them a little bit of play. You could attach them if you wanted to with a pipe cleaner so they don't move, but I think it's fine. And then what I have is these little tails that I show you how to make. So I'm just gonna go ahead and attach a few more of these tails in the green and the red. It kind of make this bow bigger than it actually is. And I'm gonna show you how to make one of those. So what you need to do is just go ahead and cut a tail, probably about 8 to 10 inches long. Then what you wanna do is fold it in half, and then you pinch right here. And with one of these skewers or these stakes that you can find at any florist department, you can find them at Hobby Lobby. They have a little wire, you swirl that wire around, and then you might wanna ensure that you dovetail this like this. And then you can insert this guy over here. And as you guys can see, it's super easy and super fast to create something beautiful like this. All right, so I'm gonna insert the last tail right here. Then once you're done inserting your tails, what you want to do is you want to go back and fluff your bows. Make sure your tails are showing like this. So I'm going to show you what it looks like on the door. Well, that's all I have for today, and I really hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did putting it together. These were some beautiful Christmas decorations, DIYs. They are not cheap looking, they're done on a budget, and I really think that you're going to be able to recreate any of them. I cannot wait to read your comments, so leave a comment down below and let me know what was your favorite and if you are willing to replicate any of these Christmas DIYs. And then also be sure to enter for the Christmas giveaway. Remember, there's going to be 3 winners, $100 and 2 $50 winners for gift cards to Hobby Lobby to get you kick-started with your Christmas decorating this year. The instructions are super simple. Just go ahead and follow them, and I cannot wait to announce the winners on my home tour this year. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing, and as always, you can watch more videos right now. Until next time, bye.